The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide.
And welcome back to the NFL Today. Right now, the Dolphins and Eagles are getting set for their matchup. And as we get closer to kickoff, we send you out live to Philadelphia with our announcers, Kevin Harlan and Rich Gannon. Gentlemen.
Temperatures in the upper 50s and a little breezy here in Philadelphia for the Dolphins and the Eagles, each featuring high drafted quarterbacks, with each definitely a work in progress. And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone, with NFL MVP Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. We thank you for joining us this afternoon. A beautiful day for football here in Philadelphia. All right, we're about the halfway point of the season, Rich. Each of these teams, the Dolphins and the Eagles, came in with high expectations. Where are they right now?
Well, Kevin, let's look at what's at stake for both these teams. For Philadelphia, they desperately need a win to keep pace with the Giants in the NFC East. And for the Miami Dolphins, who have struggled the last couple of weeks, they need to salvage what was supposed to be a promising season. They need to play better here today.
Kind of a surprise this offseason. The Eagles made a trade for St. Louis quarterback Sam Bradford. So he's 8 games into his new offense, a new team here in Philadelphia. You've watched the tape. What do you think?
Well, Kevin, I wasn't surprised to see Sam Bradford really get off to a slow start this year, especially when you consider he had that nearly 2-year layoff. And because of the system change on offense, really a lot different than anything he experienced in his time in St. Louis. But you can see that he's feeling more comfortable each and every time out. And he's playing faster. In fact, I thought he had his best game of the season last week in that overtime win on the road against the Cowboys last Sunday night. His anticipation was better. He was getting the ball out. They need better consistency and production from Sam Bradford in the second half of the season.
Well, the most decorated player offensively in the NFL a season ago was Dallas running back DeMarco Murray. He chose to sign as a free agent with the Eagles, so he's into his first 8 games. How has he fared?
Well, I think a real bright spot for the Eagles offense has been the production we've seen from this Eagles running game. And, even DeMarco Murray is putting up some impressive numbers, despite the fact that he's been asked to do something I'm not sure he's entirely comfortable with. Last year, he'd line up with his heels at 8 yards, and he was a one-cut downhill runner behind that big Dallas offensive line. Well, this year in Philadelphia, he's mostly offset in the shotgun on either side of Sam Bradford, really running the inside and outside zone runs, which oftentimes have him taking some horizontal steps before he gets a chance to put his foot in the ground and head north and south.
Let's turn our attention now to the Miami Dolphins. 8-8 a season ago, and with high hopes actually coming into this year. Compass pointed they felt in the right direction, but 4 games in, they fire their head coach. They've gone 2-2 since, and a lot of eyes, Rich, even all that said, are on the high-priced young quarterback Ryan Tannehill.
Well, I think we have seen steady progress with Ryan Tannehill in his first 3 seasons, and yet it hasn't translated into more wins. And I imagine he's frustrated with all the change around him. But the bottom line is he can't just be a game manager who, he needs to be a game winner. He has to have better consistency, especially late in games.
Well, they tried to bolster the defense, too. They went to the free agent market, got Detroit Lion defensive lineman Ndamukong Suh, but the numbers defensively for the Dolphins aren't much better.
I think the biggest disappointment for the Miami Dolphins this year has been the run defense. I mean, it's been awful. They're currently 31st. They're giving up 142 yards a game on the ground, and that doesn't bode well for a team that went out and spent big money in free agency to address this very need.
That all serves as the backdrop for our Tools for Success today, presented by the Home Depot.
Well, Miami needs more from their running game and Lamar Miller, who's certainly capable of having a big game against this Eagles defense. He's currently averaging just under 5.5 yards a carry, and I think the return of middle linebacker D'Amico Ryans for the Philadelphia Eagles, he's a run stuffer, especially after losing rookie sensation Jordan Hicks last week. They need him back. And now for the keys, Miami defensively, they've got to win on the early downs and get off the field on 3rd down, which has been a problem the last couple weeks. And I think for Philadelphia, a fast start on offense. They've been outscored 40-10 in the first quarter, and Bradford's first half numbers haven't been very good.
So the Miami Dolphins come in 3-5. They've lost 2 in a row. The Philadelphia Eagles 4 up and 4 down. They have won 3 of their last 4, coming off an overtime win in Dallas last week. Well, before we get to the game, we want to pause to honor the more than 120 killed and 350 injured in terrorist attacks in Paris on Friday. Here and at all NFL stadiums today, we pay respect to the victims.
On Friday, the entire world experienced a tragic loss of lives in the terrorist attacks against civilians in Paris. At this time, please stand and join in a moment of silent reflection for the victims, their families, and loved ones. Thank you. Please join in singing our national anthem with the United States Army Chorus.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Fires, it's complete, across the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Jordan Matthews, the Eagles win in overtime.
You just heard the voice of Merrill Reese, the longtime voice of the Eagles. There's a look at Chip Kelly, a couple 10-6 seasons. Rich, they get an overtime win in Dallas to go to 500 last Sunday night.
Yeah, Kevin, 1-3 their last 4 games, and I think they're really feeling a lot better about this offense, and in particular the running game defensively. Getting D'Amico Ryans back, I think, should really help in terms of the communication and their run fits defensively.
We've had the flip of the coin, and the Eagles won. They deferred, so Miami's going to get it. Damian Williams back there, running back, who's got a bit of a hand injury he's dealing with, but he'll retrieve the kickoff from Caleb Sturgis, who took the place of Cody Parkey because of a groin injury earlier in the season. Here we go, the Eagles and the Dolphins. And a nice return out to about the 32-yard line before he's brought down by Brian Brayman, a 37-yard return. This takes us to the quarterback, Ryan Tannehill. He is in his 4th year out of Texas A&M.
It's critical, Kevin, that this team get off to a good start. Look, check these numbers out. Their 5 losses, they've been outscored 50-3 in the first quarter. In their 3 wins, they've outscored their opponents 31-6. And a lot of it has to do with the play at the quarterback position.
With a couple tight ends, the fake to Miller, Tannehill. He's got Jarvis Landry. With the beat on him out there is Nolan Carroll, and limiting him to a gain of 2 out to the 34-yard line on the offensive line. Mike Pouncey anchors it all. Fox now starts for the injured Jawan James at right tackle. Concern for the guards today, Thomas and Turner, because of the strength of the interior of that Eagle defensive line. And second-year receiver Jarvis Landry is an emerging star. One of the top young receivers in the NFL, with a look at Lamar Miller, who's been running the ball well. It's second down and 8. This is Miller. They get him from behind. Benny Logan slows him up and brings him down. Logan terrific against the run. It is a loss of 3. Back to the 31 on the defensive line. Next to Logan, Fletcher Cox. All-Pro a season ago. A significant injury Rich just told you about last week. They lost linebacker Jordan Hicks to a torn pec tendon. They welcome back D'Amico Ryans from injury. and former Dolphin Nolan Carroll in the Eagle secondary, with safety Malcolm Jenkins definitely making a difference.
Third and long's been a real problem for this Miami offense. 3rd and 10 plus, 11% conversion rate. That's 31st in football.
Into the nickel. 3rd down. Oh, he's got his receiver, and this is the running back, Miller, with a great catch inside the 40. He was working on Maragos, who came in, and it's a gain on the play of 36, and the Dolphins are down to the 34 of Philadelphia.
Well, this is the matchup they want to get. The running back on the safety. Good protection here, and again, a good little stutter move creates some separation between Miller and the safety. Nice throw there by Ryan Tannehill.
Miller had 7 receptions last week against the Buffalo Bills and a couple of rushing touchdowns to boot. First and 10. He's going for Landry, and the coverage on the play by Walter Thurman. Incomplete about the 10-yard line, 2nd down and 10.
Well, I think one area you really see improvement with Ryan Tannehill is his accuracy and his location with some throws. I think one area where he still struggles a little bit, Kevin, is pushing the ball down the field, the deep ball. Very good with the short and intermediate stuff, but he's had some problems with his location on some of those deep balls.
Well, there's Dan Campbell, took the place of Joe Philbin, who was let go after 4 games. Former tight end coach, now the interim head coach. 2nd down and 10, and they go outside right here. And it is grabbed by Greg Jennings, the veteran with Green Bay and the Vikings, and now Miami. He picks up 8, and he's down to the 26-yard line of Philadelphia.
Well, we'll see a bunch of these today, these perimeter screens. They kick them out. You get the block out in front by Kenny Stills. You see the veteran Greg Jennings. They have a bunch of them. They like them out of these stack alignments where you have another receiver up in front to make the initial block.
Thurman knocks him out of play. 3rd down and 2, opening drive. Tannehill. He's got Miller, and he's got a first down. Shoved out of bounds by linebacker Michael Kendricks. It's a gain of 5 in the play. Put him at the 20-yard line of Philadelphia with another Miami first down.
Well, this goes back to Ryan Tannehill's training in the West Coast offense. He always knows where his quick answer throw is, and he's willing to throw the ball and check it down underneath to these running backs. It's going to be really important for this Miami offense. They've got to be able to win the one-on-one matchups. They're going to see a ton of man-to-man coverage from this Philadelphia secondary.
You can see what the opening drives have done to that defense of Philadelphia. With a 1st and 10. Knocked free. Big hit by Ryans. And they were going for running back Damian Williams. We told you he's got a bad hand, and that one he could not lasso, so it'll be 2nd down. Ryan's getting back in that linebacking core.
I just think getting him back, Kevin, makes a world of difference for this Philly defense. He's such a calming presence. He makes all the calls in the middle of that defense. He's a great run defender, as you mentioned. That's really why he's in the middle of that defense.
Miller back there now, 2 tight ends, 2nd down and 10. This is Miller. Oh, and Connor Barwin. And a flag is thrown. Grabs him from behind, Barwin does. Throws him for a 1-yard loss back to the 21. Great jump, and it's going to be a penalty on the Eagles.
Offside. Defense number 95. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Look at Terry McCauley, who's officiated a couple of Super Bowls. Hard count here, Rich.
You got to be able to change up your snap count early. It's the left side of that Eagles defensive line. Kendricks jumps. Connor Barwin was nosy.
You told me that when you were a quarterback, you used to practice in the bathroom before games, right? And
well, you want to change it up. The offensive line will come back to you and say, change up this snap count. Take a little bit of that heat off of that pass rush early in games.
2nd down and 5. Albert the block at the left tackle. That's incomplete. Cameron, the tight end, fell. The coverage again. Walter Thurman making it 3rd down and 5 on the game-opening drive for Miami.
It's really hard to figure out what they're doing with the tight end usage. You know, Jordan Cameron ranked among the tight end leaders with 80 catches 2 years ago in Cleveland. Right now he has just 20 catches. Not a lot of production. He's not a great blocker. He's really in there as a receiving threat, and yet the production simply hasn't been there.
Watch for Miller here. He's in the backfield in that shotgun with Tannehill. He's gone to him a couple times on third down on this drive. 3rd and 5. Miller blocks here, and up the middle they come. He got drilled on the play. Fletcher Cox with the sack. It's a loss of 9. And Fletcher Cox comes up with his 6th sack of the season.
When you really study this Philly defense, they have a tough time, or this Philly defense, they'll pressure you on third down, and the Dolphins have struggled in this area. They've not done a good job with their blitz pickup, especially down in the red zone.
So here comes rookie Andrew Franks with a 42-yard field goal try into a slight breeze, 3-0 Miami. They score first. They thought that was vital today, either 3 or 7, but they get a field goal right there from the rookie free agent. Nice drive orchestrated by the quarterback Tannehill, including a 36-yard pass to the running back Miller.
Always want to start fast on the road. Good combination, good mix of run and pass, especially on the early downs.
So the Eagles, who have been outscored 40-10 in the first quarter, get this Andrew Franks kickoff with Josh Huff back. This is very returnable from the 5. Breaks a couple tackles on the way and slithers his way out to about the 36-yard line with the return of 31. And a look at their quarterback, Sam Bradford.
Yeah, Kevin, as we said in the open, wasn't surprised to see the slow start. The 10 interceptions are a concern. He's got to take better care of the football. But really last week, maybe it was his coming out party. Really threw the ball well, played fast from under center. And they feel like now things are starting to slow down for the 6-year quarterback.
Former Heisman Trophy winner at Oklahoma, 6th year in the NFL. From his 36, he begins at first down and 10. They have the fastest pace of any offense in the league. Here he goes underneath the tight end, Selleck. He's got a foot race on the play with Akins. And down the stretch he goes, inside the 5. A significant catch and run by the tight end, Brent Selleck. 60-yard catch and run, 1st and goal, Philadelphia.
Well, it's all about illusion and disguise, and then Selleck is just going to sneak out on the left side of the formation. They don't even cover him.
And a quick hitter right here with nothing on a 1st and goal at the 4. With DeMarco Murray, in fact, losing a yard back to the 5.
You know, my challenge today, Kevin, is that we don't miss snaps. That's how fast these guys play offensively. I mean, you can't even get a replay in. But this is what they want to do. They want to play fast. They want to be aggressive. They want to set the tempo and the pace of play. And really, it makes it real difficult for a defense to even communicate and make substitutions.
2nd and goal just inside the 5. Murray again. His way down to about the 2. The interior of that line bringing him down after a gain of 2 on the play. In fact, once again, they have Walt Akins, who comes from the secondary and the safety to make the stop.
That's a very athletic offensive line. You got to give a lot of credit to Lane Johnson. Kevin made his first start last week on the road at left tackle. Did a terrific job. He's back in there today for the injured Jason Peters.
3rd and goal at the 2. And Kelly starts at the right tackle. Yet Cooper, now the pressure's applied by Shelby and by Sue, but a wide open touchdown, Josh Huff. Huff with his 2nd touchdown reception of the season.
You're going to look at Huff. He's going to work over and back in the back of the end zone. This is the same play they just ran a few plays ago with Brent Selleck to really get the drive started. Bradford does a terrific job holding the ball to the very last minute before he finds Huff in the back of the end zone.
Huff was a third round pick out of Oregon. He played for Chip Kelly up at Oregon and had been heavily criticized here in the Philadelphia media regarding his lack of drops. I mean, he has not really performed the way they thought he would.
Too many drops at that position, Kevin, in the first half of the season. No question about that.
5th opening drive touchdown allowed by the Miami defense. That is an NFL high. They got a 60-yard catch and run by the tight end, then a terrific grab in the back of the end zone by Huff.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. Garmin Fitness. Let's beat yesterday. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Tony Lukes. Rich, you grew up in Philadelphia. You've had a couple of those over the years, haven't you?
Yeah, you hear so much about Pats and Genos. Can't forget about Tony Lukes. Never had a bad steak in Philly. Let me put it that way.
I know it. You keep telling me that.
I know you're heading there tonight after the game.
Yeah, I am. It was a nice drive led by Bradford Quick, and you got some terrific work, and Williams drops the ball.
Why would you bring it out? Now he's got to get out.
Yep. Now he's in trouble. He's got the bad hand. It's heavily wrapped. We've talked about it. He's dropped a pass, and now he drops that, and he took a pounding. But why would you have a guy with the bad hand back there returning kickoffs?
This is a poor decision. There's no reason to even try and bring this out. We're back here in Philadelphia, and we've been talking about the Dolphins. They need to eliminate the self-inflicted wounds. This is just a poor decision by Damian Williams. You can see Ajayi, he's trying to hold him there, and then you look at the reaction from Ryan Tannehill. I mean, this is not what he wants to start the afternoon.
Got some bad thoughts about what's happened, huh?
They've been backed up, Kevin, in the last 2 weeks now in this very area of the field. They've given up 2 safeties on bad snaps from center Mike Pouncey.
Miller is in. Oh, and the tackle made the guard move. I think that was Billy Turner.
False start. Offense number 77. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Billy Turner leaving early.
Yeah, you can't do this on the road. I mean, this is a situation where Tannehill's not even expecting it. And then last week in Buffalo, this one comes back hot and high, and he can't handle it. And you give up 2 safeties on the road. It's those type of mistakes that have really cost the Dolphins against teams like the Patriots and the Bills. Penalty there really doesn't hurt you. Half the distance of the goal, not a big deal. Not surprised to see Tannehill use the hard count in that situation.
With 2 tight ends for look out! Drilled by Thurman. It's happened again. It has happened again. Can you believe it? Another safety. And Thurman was the missile on the blind side.
Well, you're just going to see it from the corner of your screen. I mean, they don't even block him. And Ryan Tannehill, either this is a missed assignment, but how can you not feel a strong safety come screaming off the edge in this part of the field? Wow. It's a knockout shot by Thurman.
Wow, he's right.
Ryan Tannehill never saw it coming. That's amazing. How do you do that? How do you go 3 straight weeks and give up a safety?
How do you go 4 games into a season and fire your head coach who was 8-8 the year before?
There's a lot of dysfunction around our league, and you look at what's going on in Miami. They fire Joe Philbin, promote Dan Campbell, fire Kevin Coyle, defensive coordinator. Talked to Dan Campbell last night about the leadership on this football team. Where is it coming from? Is it coming from Tannehill? Is it coming from Ndamukong Suh? These guys are getting a lot of money. Yet you look at the results, they simply haven't been there.
So the punt, and this is Sproles. He is the #1 punt return man. Of course, after safeties, that's what you do. You don't kick off, and there is a 19-yard return. Let's go to New York with James Brown and Coach Cowher.
Coach, right off the bat.
Second series of the game right here, 3rd down, incomplete, but when you watch it right here, watch Landry Jones' left foot, it gets stepped on. His return is questionable, and Ben Roethlisberger is in the game as we speak. Remember, he was active today as the second quarterback. I don't think they wanted to use him this early.
Kevin and Rich.
Wow, some problems for the Steelers there.
Can't stay healthy at the most important position on your football team.
There we go.
DeMarco Murray on 1st and 10. Runs into a pile, goes to the 44, and picks up 2 on the play. We told you Lane Johnson moves from the right tackle to the left tackle because Peters, the multiple Pro Bowler, is out. DeMarco Murray is coming off a nice game last week against Dallas. We had 83 on the ground and 6 receptions. 2nd down and 8. Murray again, last year's NFL rushing leader. Tackled by Jelani Jenkins. But after he gets a first down to the 46-yard line of Miami on a gain of 12. And Ndamukong Suh is on that line. 3 sacks this season. Jenkins, Shepard, Koamisi's been there a while in that linebacking core. Bobby McCain is a rookie and a 5th-round pick and makes his career start first in the NFL today. Canes on each corner. No relation. 1st and 10. Nice fake by Bradford. He's got Selleck again. Brought down by Misi to the 25-yard line of Miami. 20-yard pickup. Selleck has caught 80 yards worth of receptions already in the game.
Well, they're not even going to cover the tight end. I mean, it's the play action fake away. Look at the draw it gets on the linebackers. They get lost in the shuffle. They never feel Selleck sneak out behind them.
Bradford 1st and 10. And he's got the hero from last week, Jordan Matthews, who was tripped up by Koamisi. He caught the overtime touchdown against the Cowboys with the win in Dallas. It's a 6-yard pickup to the 20-yard line.
I really like this young player, Kevin. He really gets it. He wants to be great like his cousin, Jerry Rice. Took half of the reps 2 weeks ago versus Dallas so that they could get a feel for what Des Bryant was going to be like on Sunday night.
62. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's Jason Kelsey, who was called right there in that previous play. Matt Tobin with a nice block at the guard. Now it's 2nd down and 9 with a look at Matthews. He was a little inconsistent for the first 7-8 games.
Well,
of the
he
year.
Struggled, and Chip Kelly told us on Friday. He said, the thing that got him through it was his hard work, his discipline, and his dedication to the playbook.
2nd and 9. Oh, nice cutback by Murray. And he works into the grasp of linebacker Calvin Shepard and drags him down to the 17-yard line with a gain of 8.
Well, the strength of this Miami defense was supposed to be their defensive line. It just hasn't been the case. Even before they lost Cameron Wake, they weren't dominating at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 1. That's a first down. Inside the 15, pickup of 2 with DeMarco Murray right there. And once again, Shepard on his back. Move the chains for Philadelphia.
We're going to find out about Miami's conditioning defensively.
Yeah, we are.
Kevin, that's what happens. I mean, you can't make substitutions. You can't dial up pressures. And the communication is going to be stressed.
Ryan Matthews is the running back with the 1st and 10. Bradford. Look at the time. Threads one in. Aguilar will pick it up. He's active, and he is down to the 8-yard line with a gain of 7. This is the number 1 pick out of USC, Nelson Aguilar, who's got his 9th reception of the year.
Much better job by the linebackers in the secondary of Miami covering that play-action fake. Did a better job.
Matthews,
coverage.
2nd down and 3. And they'll drag him down with Jenkins riding him down to about the 3-yard line on a gain of 6. 1st and goal, Philadelphia.
I think if you're Philadelphia, you have to keep pounding the running game at this Miami defense. 31st in run defense for a reason.
With the 1st and goal, Ryan Matthews. Wrapped up from behind as he got near the 1-yard line. Rashad Jones, who's the leading tackler in the secondary, makes the stop. It is a gain of a yard.
And the one thing they're not afraid to do is repeat plays. I mean, they'll run the same run 3 times in a row.
2nd goal, Matthews again. That is a touchdown. 1 yard. It looks like they're running on the number 31 run defense in the NFL.
Well, they're struggling, Kevin. And again, we talked about repeating runs. I mean, it's just an inside zone run to Ryan Matthews. He's a bigger back that can push piles. He's a finisher. But look at the movement Kelsey and the rest of those guys get up front. Giving up 142 yards a game on the ground right now, this Miami run defense.
Used to play for San Diego, couple 1,000-yard seasons for the Chargers. 5th rushing touchdown. Tack on another one right there with a 16-3 lead for Philadelphia. Sturgis knocks it through. Big play, a 20-yard reception by the tight end Selleck.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K. And by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly.
Philadelphia all dressed up and ready to go for the NFL today. Matthews with the 1-yard touchdown run. Selleck, the tight end, has been hit twice for 80 yards. And the Eagles are on top. They've also got a safety. Damian Matthews, who has been returning kickoffs for Miami, is out. He's got a leg injury. And Jarvis Landry will be back to retrieve this kick. And it's away and out of bounds to the 20 on a touchback. Your weekend starts Thursday night. Marcus Mariota and the Titans take on Blake Bortles and the Jaguars in an AFC South battle. Thursday night football only on NFL Network. Good start for Philadelphia. My goodness, scoring both times they've had it and getting a safety in between. Now let's see how Miami responds on the road, and they've got to be a little unruffled. Miller probing the middle, and a bunch of guys, including Taylor Hart on the line, knock him down. Also, Bo Allen, gain of 5 on the play to the 25.
When you look at this defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles, Cox, Logan, and Thornton, I think they've developed into one of the best 3-4 fronts in the league. This is a very good group. They're extremely athletic, and they can really line up anywhere, which gives them some flexibility and versatility with their defensive line.
Handoff, 13th run this season by the wide receiver Landry on that 2nd down and 5, and belted by Thurman, hit by Ryans, and gets out just beyond the 30 and picks up 6.
Well, we talked about the Eagles having a difficult time getting out of the gates early, but look at this. Already up 16-3 against the Dolphins, and they've been talking a lot about getting off the better starts really on both sides of the ball, but a big turnover on that last drive by their defense.
Dolphins use a lot of tight end. 2 of them right now. 1st and 10. Miller blocked by one of those tight ends, Cameron, and a tackle made by D'Amico Ryans. It is a gain of 3 to the 34. Tonight, Scott Pelley reports from Paris on the terrorist attacks. Plus, how the NFL is changing the game to better protect the players on 60 Minutes tonight. So the Eagles have got a 2-yard touchdown pass, recorded a safety, and a 1-yard touchdown run by Ryan Matthews. 2nd down, 7 Miami. Fake to Miller. Tannehill high, almost picked off the ricochet, and was it reeled in by Rashard Matthews? No, hit the turf, incomplete, 38-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Well, that thing came out hot. That would have been a very difficult catch for Jarvis Landry. He's working across the field. Really nice coverage there by Malcolm Jenkins. And Rashard Matthews trying to make an effort to make a spectacular catch in the middle of the field.
Slow starts. Rich talked about this for this offense, and their 5 losses outscored 50-3. 50-3 in the first quarter when they've lost 3rd and 7. Tannehill and Jordan Cameron, who is submarine that time by Malcolm Jenkins. It is Jenkins. It is a gain of 5, and he's up to the 38, shy of the first by a couple, and the punting unit takes the field.
This drives you crazy. I mean, you don't get enough depth on 3rd down. 3rd down's been a real problem all season for Miami, currently converting just 29% of their opportunities, which is 31st in the NFL.
Rookie free agent Matt Dog from Tennessee will punt, and Darren Sproles back inside the 20. Bad punt. Not sure if it was deflected or not. It'll be downed at about the 28-yard line by Zach Bowman. Hang time of 2:09. That's not good. All Eagles so far. And they're going to get it again. On top 16-3 on CBS. NFL Mobile, the official app of the NFL, brings you video highlights, breaking news, live scores, and more. Download today at NFL.com/mobile. After the punt on the 29, Bradford first and 10 with some play action. Incomplete to the other tight end, Ertz, who is the top receiving tight end. Selleck has been the guy today. Incomplete. How about this, Rich? In the first 8 games, the Eagles had 1 touchdown. Today they've got 2 in the first quarter.
Man, this is a throw Kevin Bradford would like to have back. You don't get him that wide open. Zach Ertz on the crossing route, just a little bit high.
That first quarter has really been a problem. But today, 2 TDs. Second down, 10, DeMarco Murray by Shepard. By Shelby. And taken down at about the 31-yard line on a meager gain of 2 to DeMarco Murray, last year's NFL rushing leader.
Philly got off to a great start offensively, but I really think the key for this Miami defense, you've got to find a way to get Philly's offense off schedule, but you can't allow them to run the ball consistently and really stay in manageable situations on 3rd down.
Well, flags on 3rd and 8.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Boy, mistakes just killing this Miami team. The missed assignments, the mental errors, the turnover, penalties.
3rd and 3. Murray slicing for the first down. He's up to the 43-yard line, picks up 7. They'll move the chains for Philadelphia.
Well, I really like this running back. I mean, he led the league a season ago, and you see Kevin him getting more and more comfortable in Chip Kelly's scheme each week.
And it takes a while, doesn't it? I mean, these other guys have been here a while. There's a player down, and that is Jelani Jenkins, the linebacker, who's got an ankle injury coming in. Timeout, 1:11 in the first. Jenkins is out right there. We talked earlier about Brent Grimes being out at the cornerback position today for Miami.
Yeah, really not surprised to see this Philly offense throw the ball out here in the first quarter, and you consider their best cover corner, Brent Grimes. Kevin, we visited with him last night. He seemed like he was a little bit under the weather. He came over to the stadium this morning. He worked out, didn't feel well, and so he is going to miss today's start, and that's going to put a lot more stress on that secondary.
He's a Philly kid, went to Northeast High School.
There we go.
First down and 10 for Bradford. Out on the money there, Jordan Matthews makes the grab. Messi and McCain were there at the 48-yard line. That's Bobby McCain, the rookie. Gain of 9 on the nice pass by Bradford.
I just love how the offensive line hustles to the football. They get down. There's not a lot of wasted movement when you study these Eagles.
Second one, Rashad Jones. And they're making the stop and no gain on the play. Rich, for a quarterback, and you've played it. Did you ever play at this kind of speed?
Never. It's so hard to try and prepare for it, Kevin, if you're this Miami defense. But when you really break down what they do offensively, I think you find there's not a lot of volume and concepts from week to week, and there really can't be when you consider how fast they play and the fact that they rarely huddle.
All the signals come from the sideline. 3rd and 1. Murray. Well, he got by the first linebacker and defensive end, Olivier Vernon, and he picks up a yard and looks like he's got the first down to the 47-yard line of Miami, and that's the way the first quarter concludes. You're watching the NFL on CBS. One of our favorite stops in the NFL, Philadelphia, and through 15 minutes of football, these are the numbers.
The Eagles have already had a lot of big plays, Kevin, and you look at their 4 third down situations, 2 3rd and 1s, a 3rd and 2, and a 3rd and 3. They've been staying in manageable situations in that down and distance.
Ryan Matthews is just engulfed, and maybe the ball coughed up. Sue jumps on his back. They lose 4 on the play, and back to the 48-yard line.
Well, I tell you what, when he falls on you, you feel it. He is a big man.
You do indeed.
You don't even block him.
You almost hear it up here.
Ryan Matthews has no chance. In fact, he doesn't even feel him until the very last minute.
Matthews remains second down and 14. Good block by Johnson at that tackle. Here's Selleck again. What a day he's putting together. Downfield, he is met by Michael Thomas. The catch and run to the 13-yard line. It's a 42-yard gallop after the catch, and he's over 100 yards receiving today.
You got to ask yourself, who's covering the tight end? I mean, they don't even cover the tight end. You've got a corner out there, you've got a linebacker, you've got a safety over the top, and Brent Selleck, Kevin, is having a field day. 3 catches, 120 yards already.
First down and 10. Look out for Shelby. And then Sue brings him down back at the 19. That's a sack and a loss of 7. Nice play by Ndamukong Suh.
That's really a poor decision by Sam Bradford, Kevin. It's not there. You see Shelby come up the field. Just throw the ball away. You're not the most nimble, mobile guy. Just throw the ball away on 1st and 10 down in the red zone.
2nd and 17. Bradford, and he's looking for Huff. With the coverage by lineman Jordan Phillips, a rookie out of Oklahoma, now 3rd and 17.
Kevin, you mentioned some of the drops, but I think some of it's on Bradford. I mean, you need a better throw in that situation. Location with some of his throws, as you study Bradford through the first 9 games of the season, it's been a bit of a problem.
Now 28 drop passes, you're right, most of any team in the NFL, 3rd and 17.
There we go.
Matthews with a nice block by Barber. But it doesn't open much, and you can see the pile on him with a gain of 5. Ndamukong Suh is over there once again, hustling all over the field. Look, he's gasping for air. He was very big on that defensive side on that series.
That was a very good series for Ndamukong Suh, Kevin. You get the sense that he's playing a little bit of a chip on his shoulder right now. I think he's a prideful guy, and he's got to be as disappointed as anybody that this defense hasn't played better over the last couple of weeks.
Here's Sturgis with a 32-yard field goal try. And the Eagles will not get 3 right here with a miss. Now Sturgis came in, taking the place of Cody Parkey. Missed an extra point, missed a field goal. Had leveled off his play, kicked well, but he misses a 32-yarder right here for Philadelphia. In honor of Veterans Day, for every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games, the league will donate $1,000 to its nonprofit partners, the Pat Tillman Foundation, USO, and Wounded Warrior Project. To join the salute and learn more, visit NFL.com/salute. We salute you and thank you for your service. From the 22-yard line after a missed 32-yard field goal. It's 1st and 10 for Tannehill in Miami. You think it's a pretty important possession, Rich?
Critical possession. They need to do something to get them jump-started here in the 2nd quarter.
He goes underneath here to about the 25-yard line. He's got Landry and a gain of 4. Well, before today's game, at the end of the national anthem, Challenger, the bald eagle, was released and flew down to the field. How about this view? Challenger is cared for by the American Eagle Foundation. A lot of pomp and circumstance here. The Army-Navy game for so many years was played across the parking lot. Now gone. JFK Stadium, 2nd down. 6 played right here. In Philadelphia from time to time. And this is the running back, Ajayi. He was terrific last week, and look at the rookie out of Boise State run. He's brought down by Connor Barwin. Up to the 46. Pickup of 20 and a 1st down for Miami.
This is a good-looking running lane for Ajayi, the back. Look at that nice one-cut downhill runner. He's a physical guy. Kevin, he stepped into our production meeting last night at Ajayi. They're really excited about him. He was hurt earlier in the season, but he had a terrific career at Boise State. This is the type of game where he can, I think, make an impact in the running game.
He was activated off of short-term IR. Made his debut in the NFL last week. It's a 1st and 10. Fake to Ajayi. Here comes Lamar Miller. And he will run past the 45 and down to the 44 and brought down by Ryans and hit on the play by Thurman. Picks up 9 on the play for the Dolphins.
There's a lot of illusion in disguise when you study this Miami offense. A lot of screens, a lot of reverses, and some trickery, and a lot of misdirection to kind of get you started one way and then come back around the other way with a running back or a receiver on the end around.
2nd down and 1. The offensive coordinator is Bill Lazor. He was the Eagles quarterback coach back in 13.
Yellow 50!
Ajayi, he's got the 1st down and more, galloping into the secondary. On that 2nd down and 1, rustled out of bounds by Walter Thurman. He's to the 21 of the Eagles and a 24-yard gain after his 20-yard run earlier on this drive.
Well, they're getting great movement. Pouncey's going to do a nice job on the nose tackle. Ajayi, he's quick. He's a quick decision maker. I mean, not a lot of indecision. He's a one-cut downhill runner, a lot different than what they have with Lamar Miller.
Ajayi remains in the game. Jay Ajayi, 5th-round pick rookie. Ajayi with Brandon Williams, the tight end with the block, and read well that time by Fletcher Cox. He adjusts. No gain on the play. They stay at the 21.
Talking to Bill Lazor last night, he said that obviously Lamar Miller's a much better runner when he has the clear lanes. And this isn't that kind of defensive front when you study the Eagles. This is the type of game where you have to slam it up in there, and that's not really his nature. And I think, Kevin, we could see a lot more of Ajayi here as this game goes on.
Dolphins come in having lost 2 consecutive games, and since their interim coach Campbell took over, they're 2 up and 2 down, losing last week in Buffalo. 2nd down and 10. Timeout. Tannehill will make the walk to the sideline. Former receiver turned quarterback at Texas A&M, and there's a look at Dan Campbell. He was a tight ends coach. He played a lot of years in the NFL, and he brings kind of a new spirit, a new competitive spirit to this Miami team.
Yeah, he was really thrown into a difficult position a couple of weeks ago, Kevin, and it's never easy to take over for a coach like Joe Philbin during the season. I think really what Dan's tried to do is instill a little bit more competitiveness, even in terms of how they practice. Being a little bit more physical, a lot more one-on-one, some team periods, some running periods, putting the pads back on a little bit, and trying to find a way to get it out of this group.
You can see the 4 teams Dan played for as an NFL tight end, and then named the interim coach when Joe Philbin was released after week 4. And then they just pounded the first 2 opponents they saw, Houston and Tennessee, but have been just as blown out themselves in the last 2 weeks. 2nd down and 10. Fox the block at the right tackle. Right on the money, and a great knockaway in the secondary by Byron Maxwell. Terrific play. They were going for Stills. Incomplete. Maxwell does a wonderful job.
Tannehill has to use more of the field. Got to throw this one out in front of the receiver. You can't allow a cornerback like Byron Maxwell to get it back underneath it and get that left hand in there.
3rd and 10. Miller in the backfield. Into the nickel. What a catch by Landry. Flag is down. He's down to the 5. Maxwell is there with the stop. Maragos was there. A 16-yard pickup, and Tannehill took a beating after he launched that ball.
Pass, holding defense number 31. The penalties decline. 1st down.
1st and goal.
This is a really nice throw by Tannehill. He's going to get hit right in the face. Oof. By Kendricks, and he doesn't even flinch. He's going to sit in there and make a really nice throw down the field to Landry. You see the grab and the hold by Byron Maxwell. A really nice effort there by Tannehill, knowing that he was going to get hit after the release. You need a tough jaw to sit in there in a situation like that.
You should know. Played 17 years in the league. You should know. 1st and goal at the 5. Miller carves his way maybe for a yard. And stopped by a ton in there. And Barwin had a hand in it. Just a gain of a yard on the play.
This is an area, Kevin, where the Dolphins have to be better. Don't get down here enough, and when they have had their struggles inside the 10-yard line.
Watch for Landry here, number 14. That's been the guy he's looked at a lot in this kind of position. 2nd and goal at the 4. And here comes Landry. Over Barwin. Oh, Barwin got a hand on it. Connor Barwin. 2nd team All-Pro a season ago with his 14 sacks. Knocks it away. 3rd and goal coming up for Miami.
Well, Connor Barwin's kind of a do-it-all linebacker. What he does best is rush the passer. Good alert play here, getting those hands up and knocking it away. Had he not, I think they had the running back in the flat for a possible touchdown.
Rich, knowing what you know about the offense and defense, what's a good play here for Miami in this position?
Well, I think in this situation, Kevin, I think moving the quarterback wouldn't be a bad thing. You're going to get a lot of man-to-man coverage, maybe a rubber, a pick play to free up one of these receivers.
And he's an athletic quarterback, and a quick throw and a knockaway. Jenkins got a hand on it. They were going for Landry, as we had just talked about. It's 4th and goal. The field goal unit comes on, and they'll try to get 3.
Well, both guys are going to cover the underneath route, and they turn the receiver to the corner loose. Just a poor read by Ryan Tannehill.
So Ajayi with a couple of long runs for the Dolphins. The rookie for 20 yards, a run at 24. They got Landry for 16 through the air. And here's Andrew Franks with a field goal try. He's already nailed a 42-yarder. This from 22. 16-6. 8:18 to play in the second. They had 1st and goal at the 5. They settle for a field goal on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile only on Verizon. Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. And by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the NFL.
City Hall in the background, almost as old as this great city of Philadelphia. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, join JB, Tony Park, and Coach Cowher. Scores, highlights, and news on a very busy day in the NFL, and a preview of Thursday Night Football only on NFL Network, all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. After a 22-yard field goal by Miami. This one will be left in the end zone by Huff. 1st and 10 coming up for Huff and the offense.
Well, they've had no answer for Brent Selleck. 3 catches, 120 yards already, including a long of 60. A lot of them have been off of play action, where the linebackers have gotten sucked up inside, and Selleck's been able to sneak in behind the linebackers and safety, but Miami's got to do a better job tracking and locating 87 at the line of scrimmage.
And he only had 7 catches coming in with a couple of touchdowns, but today he has been in the crosshairs of quarterback Bradford. Rolls the other way, hit by Vernon, gets it downfield. Aguilar out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. Tag team across the way with Jones. It is a 21-yard pickup, and the rookie makes it, and that was a hard hit put on quarterback Bradford by Olivier Vernon.
Where the crossing routes right now are absolutely killing this Dolphins secondary. First it was Selleck, now it's some of the receivers off the play action.
1st and 10. And DeMarco Murray submarines for 2 to the 42. I know that this week there was a lot of talk about how the quarterback Bradford was feeling more comfortable footwork, and they were watching a lot of tape to work on his throwing mechanics, Rich.
Yeah, I think it takes a while, Kevin. This is very different footwork, especially out of the gun with all the, the zone read fakes. Very different than the system that he came from in St. Louis.
It's Murray on a 2nd and long 8. Shelby is there with the tackle. Flag is thrown. The gain to the 45.
I think in the West Coast offense, we talk about
offense number 62. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
That West Coast offense that he ran in St. Louis those early years. There's so much we talk about trusting your feet, and that the footwork will take you home. And Sam said that was one of the challenges for him, the first couple months here in Philadelphia, because it's tough to find your rhythm. I mean, it's such a quick hitting offense, and there's been a lot of the zone reads. It's been some different footwork and mechanics that have taken Sam Bradford a while to feel comfortable.
Interesting. 2nd and 18 to go outside here. It is Murray getting the lead block from the wide receiver Matthews, and the gain to the 35. So the footwork in this offense for quarterback is different than in conventional offenses in the league.
Well, it really is, and sometimes it's so hard to find your rhythm. I mean, because it happens so fast. I thought it was interesting what he said to us on Friday. He said, you have to train your mind to think fast to be a step ahead, because you don't have a lot of time to think between plays.
3rd and 13 here now coming up for Bradford. Matthews is in. Matthews gets the call. He may have heard footsteps across the way. He was being zeroed in by Neville Hewitt, a rookie free agent out of Marshall. Drop ball, punting unit on there, and the Eagles will send it to Miami. Donnie Jones, who's a top 10 punter, number 6 in net, top 5 in gross, 4 plays punt. The punter is down, and the block on the play came from, I think, Zach Vigil, who's a rookie free agent out of Utah State. Jones is up, the ball and the punt blocked, and that guy got a hand on it. Zach Vigil out of Utah State for Miami. They had 5 block kicks a year ago. That was second most in the NFL a season ago.
And Kevin, they were close earlier in the game. It's a bit of a high snap. It took a little while, and you see that left hand in there. As you mentioned, 5 block kicks a season ago, and this is just what they needed to get them back in this game.
Dornbos is the longtime snapper, actually since 2006. And Vigil coming through, blocking the punt of the veteran Donnie Jones. That's the second block punt he's had this season. From the 12, 1st and 10 for Miami. Ajayi is in the backfield. Ooh, and he runs into a wall right there. There's very little maneuverability and hit by Marcus Smith. And it's a loss of a yard, and he's back to the 13.
Well, he's got to do better than this. I mean, he's going to run right into his own man, Deion Sims, and Sims makes the tackle. You got to run with your head up and your eyes open.
All right, so that's how you go through life, right?
Linemen hate that. Linemen and tight ends, when the back lowers his head and puts his helmet right into your back. They don't like that too much.
So Jones on the sideline. Miller in the backfield, 2nd down 11. Tannehill, Miller, good block by Rashard Matthews, opens the door, touchdown. With the receiver Matthews throwing a block, 13-yard strike.
He's just going to come out of the backfield and run a little flat route. And what happens is that the flat defender, they're going to run into each other. It's just a natural rub, a natural pick right in the middle of the screen there. Gives Lamar Miller just enough room and space to get into the end zone.
Lamar Miller with his 2nd touchdown reception. And he's done it all. This is one of the best running backs that people don't talk about in the entire NFL.
Well, he's a talented player, Kevin. They're just always looking for creative ways to get him the ball in space.
They found some right there with the extra point try here by Franks. And a new score in Philadelphia. Dolphins back in business. That guy, Vigil, blocked the punt, the rookie free agent, which set up this possession. Vigil coming through. And then finished by Tannehill. And Lamar Miller on a 13-yard touchdown pass. Tomorrow on CBS, Team Scorpion is being blackmailed. Catch a brilliant new episode tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Josh Huff awaits the kickoff from Miami. They just scored after a block punt and a touchdown pass by Tannehill. His first touchdown pass in the last 105 attempts, hitting the reliable running back Lamar Miller. This is out of the end zone. Touchback to the 20. Week 10 continues later today on CBS and for some of you on Fox. Then tonight with Sunday Night Football on NBC. And tune in tomorrow for Monday Night Football on ESPN and Westwood One Radio. Boomer Esiason and I will be in Cincinnati tomorrow night. Texans, Bengals with Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan. 3-point Philadelphia lead. 5:52 to play, and here comes Bradford again. Rich, 1st and 10.
Well, he's looked good, Kevin. 11 of 14, 177 yards, a touchdown. Go away.
They go low, and he's got Ertz, who is hit by Shepard at about the 26-yard line and a quick gain of 6 for quarterback Sam Bradford.
I really like these Philadelphia tight ends. We saw a bunch of Selleck and then Zach Ertz. Ertz is probably the better route runner at this point.
2nd and 4, Ryan Matthews. Looking for a barber block and sidesteps his way to the 27 and gets a yard. The 2 tight end system, too, has helped the running game, hasn't it, Rich, for Philadelphia?
And we're seeing a lot more of it.
Yeah.
I think it gives them a little bit more versatility when it comes to the running game with both DeMarco Murray and Ryan Matthews.
3rd down and 3 for Sam Bradford, who played at Oklahoma. Here comes the pressure. Ball knocked away by Shelby. It's vacuumed in. A flag has been thrown. It's loose again after Vernon had the ball, and Bradford gets it back. Oh, a lot of moving parts on that play. A lot to decipher. Shelby had the hit with a look at two-time Super Bowl referee Terry McCauley and his crew.
Holding, offense number 76. The penalties declined. The play was ruled a fumble. Fourth down, Philadelphia at the 3-yard line.
And they will punt.
Well, you're going to see Kelly down there. He's working on Shelby. Shelby gets a great rush. He's going to get that left hand in there. That's what knocks it out. Olivier Vernon right there for the easy scoop up. And then, of course, he puts it back on the ground.
I want to give credit to Earl Mitchell. He came through on crawling, and he got a hand on him as well. Maybe the ball, too.
Well, the Eagles very, very fortunate in that situation.
So the last possession, they have a block punt. They just about fumbled deep in their own zone.
Correction. Miami recovered the football and got possession, and then was fumbled and was recovered by Philadelphia.
First down.
Therefore, the holding will be accepted to make it 3rd and 13.
Third down.
You get one more look at it. You're going to see Shelby coming at the left arm. That gets the ball on the ground. Olivier Vernon, he gets it stripped again by Kelly, and of course Bradford there to scoop it up. Still trying to sort through all this.
The offense goes back out there is the bottom line for Philadelphia, as they're still figuring out where to spot the ball. Eagles come in having won 3 and 4 after their 0-2 start, began 1-3, and looking for some carryover for the win last week. They had an overtime, Rich, against Dallas, a big one for Chip Kelly to get to 500.
I still think they're trying to figure out what this particular group is good at. You've got a new quarterback in the offseason, 2 new running backs, 3 wide receivers. Quite a bit of change for Chip Kelly in this Philly offense.
Half game and back of the Giants, who take on New England, coming up on CBS next. Did it look like Olivier Vernon had possession? It looked like he got up and ran and made a football move, which is a couple steps plus.
It was a good alert play by Kelly.
Shouldn't it be a new down?
Once he got beat to get the ball back out.
Third, they accepted the penalty, which is why it's 3rd down. There was holding on the play initially. And he's just trying to get it straight in his own mind. And he is talking. All the officials are connected via radio headsets. So they're all talking with one another.
And they could easily be talking to the folks back in New York, Dean Blandino as well.
So there was a penalty on the play. It was knocked away by Shelby. It was taken in by Olivier Vernon. He then had the ball taken away after it was a Miami possession. But all this is moot because there was a penalty on the original play.
Question is whether he had possession, Kevin. That may be what they're talking about right now. Whether or not Olivier Vernon had possession of the football.
Well, in this game, we've had a touchdown pass of 2 yards by Bradford to Huff. A 1-yard touchdown run by Matthews. We just had a blocked field goal by the Dolphins on the Eagles, which results in a 13-yard touchdown pass from Tannehill to Miller. Don't worry, the sun won't go down for a while.
Miami is challenged that they did not possess the ball on the turnover. Plays under review.
It was a blocked punt, not a blocked field. I think it's a blocked field goal, a blocked punt. So the question is now, did he have possession? And we will step aside as they figure it out on the field.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by McDonald's, teaming up with the NFL like never before. And by Best Buy. Win the holidays.
Referee Terry McCauley has taken a look under the hood and talked to New York and the NFL office.
After review, the defensive player did not complete the coverage of the ground. He lost control before he hit the ground. Therefore, it will be 4th down for Philadelphia at the 3-yard line. The penalty is declined.
Penalty is declined. So they said that Olivier Vernon, number 50, did not have possession.
Yeah, this actually works out better for Miami, obviously, but you get those defensive players, they get a chance to make a play and they'll squeeze the ball.
Donnie Jones is not going to have the full 14 yards to punt here either. And Jarvis Landry is back for Miami inside the 50 in Philadelphia territory.
One after it again.
Bad punt, no hang time. And at the 48-yard line of the Eagles, Landry gets it on a 45-yard punt. Mike Carey is with us, our officiating expert in New York. Mike, walk us through what just here's another penalty flag thrown here.
Well, we're waiting for the penalty. The recovery of a loose ball is exactly the same as a catch. In order to have a recovery, if you're going to the ground, which he is in this case, you've got to maintain control of the ball. When you hit the ground, the ball comes loose.
After the play,
that's lucky for Miami because the ball's dead at the 3.
Receiving team number 14. 15-yard penalty, first down.
And that recovery at the 3 rolls it down to 4th down. If he had maintained control, it would have been a first down for Philadelphia at that spot.
Excellent, Mike. Thank you for clearing it up. We appreciate it. Taunting penalty on Landry, who was being fiddled with here on the sideline of the Eagles once he got that punt and ran out of bounds at the 48.
You got to walk away, though, Kevin.
Yeah,
A.J.
right.
Biggers kind of holds on to him a little bit right at the end of this deal, and then Landry's going to turn and just flick the ball at the back of Biggers. Just can't do it. Got to learn to walk away in those situations.
Miller in the backfield, 1st and 10 for Tannehill from his 37-yard line. Miller outside. But because Connor Barwin played it so well and strung it out, there is a loss of 3 on the play by the veteran Barwin with a nice defensive play at the 34-yard line.
Well, Miami loves to run those screens on the early downs, and offensive coordinator Bill Lazor said this is going to be a challenge. It's a tough team to screen against because they're a 3-4 defense. They're 2 gappers. They don't get up the field. And the linebackers, Graham and Connor Barwin, do a terrific job outside setting the edge and making it difficult to get the ball on the perimeter.
Miller in on a 2nd down and 13. And they've got Fletcher Cox jumping on him with a nice defensive play. Barwin was there as well. There's no gain on the play at the 34. Lazor was also concerned about the guards.
It's a tough defense to run against, this Bear defense, when you cover up the center and both guards. Essentially, you get one-on-ones, and it's not a lot of running lanes when you get that Bear, that old 46 defense that Bill Davis has run on and off throughout this season.
Biggers is in, the extra defensive back for Philadelphia, 3rd and 13. Miller, and a nice defensive read by linebacker Brandon Graham. Hauls him down to the 35 and a gain of a yard. It's 3 and punts for Miami.
This is a really good job by Graham coming off, and I really like this player. Kevin had a couple sacks last week against the Cowboys, and guy that plays the run equally as well.
To punt, Matt Darr from the University of Tennessee, averaging 49 yards a punt. Breeze at his back. Sproles from the 21 for 2 hang time, and he's down. John Denny is the one who made the stop. He's the long snapper who today is playing in his 169th consecutive game, the long snapper, Denny. Let's go to the NFC East and take a look at what's going on there. Giants later on against New England. They lead by a half game.
Yeah, getting JPP back will help. They're struggling right now rushing the pass. The Eagles on a little bit of a roll. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. Obviously, the Redskins, they've lost 3 of their last 4, and they're struggling a little bit on defense. And, of course, the Dallas Cowboys, Kevin, they can't win a game without Tony Romo. 2 different quarterbacks, 6 straight losses.
It's DeMarco Murray on 1st and 10. Looking for a block from Lane Johnson, and he got it. Belted out of bounds. He had Shepard over there along with Akins. A 13-yard run. He's up to the 46-yard line of Philadelphia with the first down.
This takes a while to develop. But watch Lane Johnson, the left tackle. He's going to get off the 1 block, and then he gets up on the 2nd block, and he's going to knock Kelvin Shepard out of the way.
1st and 10, Murray with the leading tackler, Rashad Jones, hopping on him at the 48 with a gain of 2.
I really have great respect and appreciation for what DeMarco Murray has done this year, Kevin, with the Eagles. I mean, he was the leading rusher last year with the Dallas Cowboys. They use a trio of running backs here. He's certainly not going to be the leading rusher this year, but he's been very patient, and he's accepted his role willingly in this offense.
Second down 8. He's got 12 carries and 48 yards today. They go underneath. They got the tight end, and he is tackled on the play by Hewitt. That is the tight end Ertz, who's at the 49-yard line with a gain of 3 right there through the air. Bradford, by the way, 13 of 16, 186. Moving again downfield. 2-minute warning in Philadelphia. The numbers today aren't great, but this is one of the better 1-2 punches in the NFL.
Well, I think you can never have enough good running backs. The Eagles actually have 3 of them, Murray, Matthews, and of course Darren Sproles, who is used in different roles, but you're going to need both of these guys down the stretch.
Speaking of Sproles, he's in now 3rd and 5. Got Huff, who gets by Shepard, and then is brought down on the play by Bryce McCain, one of 2 McCains starting close to the first down, 44-yard line of the Dolphins.
What a great effort. You look at Huff, he's going to run all the way off the field. Aguilar is going to come back on. They make their substitutions so quickly and efficiently.
Sproles remains 1st and 10. Darren Sproles wrapped up by Sue, who's had a good game. Shelby finishes him off at the 48 with a loss of 4.
Well, Sue has spent a lot of his time this afternoon in the Philadelphia backfield. He's tough to block inside. To double him most of the day to take some of the edge off of his rush.
Nickel secondary, 2nd and 14 for Bradford. It's Sproles. He got by 1 McCain, then he's brought down by the linebacker Hewitt on a gain of 2 down to the 46. Bobby McCain, the rookie, couldn't get him. Timeout taken. Philly with 2 left. Timeout was just taken moments ago. The tempo is every 23 seconds, the fastest from play to play in the NFL by this offense.
Well, it's their tempo. As you mentioned, they dictate the pace of play, and it makes it extremely difficult on the defense.
3rd and 12, Bradford thrown behind Ertz. They had a couple there defending, Bryce McCain and Rashad Jones. 4th down, here comes the punt unit for the Eagles.
3rd down's been a problem, especially for Bradford. His numbers are bad. He's completing just 49% of his passes. Only Matthew Stafford of the Detroit Lions' numbers are worse.
So here's Donnie Jones, who's had a punt block today, his 2nd of the season. 7th play in this punt coming up. They can't do anything with that 13-yard run by Murray. Jarvis Landry is back for Miami. And takes a Miami bounce. It's 20-yard line with a 1st and 10 on the touchback and a 46-yarder by Jones. Coming up from our CBS studios in New York, the Verizon Halftime Report. JB and Company with scores, news, highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football only on NFL Network. All coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. So, Rich, Miami's got a couple of timeouts. They're on the downside of a 16-13 game, but they have scored 10 unanswered second quarter points.
Yeah, I don't think this is the time to pump the brakes, Kevin. You mentioned 54 seconds left, 2 timeouts. They've got a chance, I think, to push the ball down the field here a little bit and get themselves in field goal range. But in a 2-minute situation, the first play is always critical. You want some positive yards out of the game.
Couple timeouts and a 1st and 10 for Tannehill. High for Stills, incomplete, with the coverage by Byron Maxwell.
I thought it was interesting talking to Bill Davis, the Eagles defensive coordinator, about defending Ryan Tannehill. And he said there's a handful of throws that we really have to defend. It's the slant, it's the quick post, and it's the deep out. That's what consistently shows up on tape when you break down this Miami offense.
Offense of the Dolphins coming in number 13 today in the NFL. Number 19 Eagle defense, 2nd down and 10. Tannehill, Rashard Matthews slicing his way for a 1st down. He got by Thurman, brought down on the play by Jenkins. 19-yard catch and run to the 40 and a timeout. Miami uses their 2nd with 1 remaining. And the clock at 42 seconds. They've got a little bit of rhythm now in their offense, the Dolphins do.
They really do, Kevin. And clock management's so important. The Dolphins had a mistake last week. Nice job by Tannehill looking off the safety, just hitting Matthews on the crosser. Eagles scrambling here a little bit late in the first half.
So a couple consecutive 2 losses in a row here for this Miami team coming in, and 2-2 since Dan Campbell took over. They blew out the first 2 teams they played, and then are blown out the last 2 games. Here they were down 16-3. They've come back and they've made it a 3-point game, and they've got the ball with the 1st and 10 from their 40. Timeout to play with. Tannehill high, got away from him that time. He was looking across the middle for Jarvis Landry. Coverage by Maragos.
Well, offensive coordinator Bill Lazor told us last night they're trying to work the middle of the field a little bit more. Those deep post routes and the deep ends really have spent a lot of time repping them. You get a good look at Bill Lazor, a guy that grew up just 2 hours away in Scranton, was a huge fan of Ron Jaworski and Dick Vermeil, coached with Chip Kelly and his staff the first year here in Philadelphia.
2nd down and 10 for Tannehill. Here comes Kendricks. Brings him down, back at the 31-yard line. Oh, is he quick around the edge? 3rd sack of the season for him. It's a loss of 8 on the play, and a timeout taken now by Philadelphia.
Well, this is a team that does not do a very good job handling the blitz. It's been a problem that they're not a big audible team. You look at non-blitz situations, Tannehill's completing 71% of his throws. In blitzing situations, just 47%. It's amazing because they actually have the lowest completion percentage when blitzed this season. It's been a problem for Tannehill.
Well, you just said they're not a big audible team. Why wouldn't they be? I mean, he's been in the league 4 years. Why wouldn't you be an audible team to see things like that?
Part of it, Kevin, is a system, a product of the system. I mean, they're a bit of an up-tempo team, a little bit like Philadelphia. Bill Lazor, it's not who they are right now. And I think it's a big mistake. If you can't change protections and change plays on the fly at this level, you're in trouble.
They need midfield on 3rd and 18. Dumping it. It's caught by Miller, who is caught in turn by Vinnie Curry. Knocked down at the 32. No gain. Philadelphia just uses their final timeout. They've got 27 seconds. A punt.
Well, we talked about Philly being a very good defense against the screen. The 2-gap scheme, they don't really get upfield, and the linebackers do such a good job setting the edge and playing with vision. And Miami is typically a very good screen team, especially with the running back.
They've had to kind of regroup just a little bit. They lose, and you mentioned this in our open, Rich, the defense of the Eagles losing linebacker, the rookie Jordan Hicks, who had really come on, may have been the MVP of the first half of the season defense for this team.
He was sensational, had the interception last Sunday night against Matt Castle, and of course he gets a pectoral tear and end his season.
This is the punt by Matt Darr. Sproles, the #1 punt returner in the NFL, back to the 12. Oof. Nice tackle made right there by the Dolphins special teamer, Zach Bowman. 54-yard punt. All right, we've got a problem with our timeouts. The Eagles do have a timeout remaining. And our graphic shows that Miami has got a timeout remaining.
Well, regardless, I think if you're the Eagles, Kevin, I think you run a play and head to the locker room and regroup a little bit. Got off to a good start in the first quarter, but kind of hit the wall there in the second quarter offensively.
Down player is Walt Aikens. He's out of Liberty. He was a 4th-round pick last year. He's had some starts at the strong safety this season for Miami secondary. Earlier on, they had announced a timeout for Philadelphia, but the officials made a mistake, and it was really a Miami timeout, so Philadelphia got one more put back on the board, and that is the source of confusion. They had, I guess, lost count on the field, and we were just going by what they were saying. Anyway, it's 17 seconds on the second second quarter clock. Eagles are up by 3. They led earlier 16-3. They've got a timeout to play with. And you can take all day counting how many defensive backs Miami has back there. They got 6 right now, and here goes a 1st and 10 throw by Bradford, which is intercepted on the play by Neville Hewitt. And a flag has been thrown at the 10, even though he is running back.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 94. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
It's C.J. Mosley, who also comes as a free agent from Detroit, as Sue did this past offseason.
Well, Shelby comes off the edge. He's been wreaking havoc around Bradford. He gets part of his right arm. But, Kevin, this is a really bad decision by Chip Kelly in the Philly offense. Why throw the ball in that situation? It could have been a disaster. And yet you get a roughing the penalty situation, and it bails you out.
Now a timeout and 10 seconds to play. There's another flag. This is low and scooped up. Yep, it was caught by Sproles right in front of Hewitt. There is a injury in the linebacking court of Jelani Jenkins earlier in the game. He is out. That's why Hewitt is playing.
Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Sue.
Well, Chip Kelly's pretty unique in terms of what he's doing with this Philly offense. He really believes that their way of doing things is the best way, and he really doesn't care about what others outside the organization think. He has one speed, full speed with this offense.
First and 10. It's the tight end Ertz out of bounds with the tackle of Bryce McCain and a gain of 3 to the 42 and no time remains. And Bryce McCain, it looks like he's injured, a starting corner, who is just coming back from injury. He had started the first 5 games, so he is down. And the Eagles and the rest of the Dolphins are headed to the locker room. 10 unanswered second quarter points by Miami makes it a 3-point game at halftime. You're watching the NFL on CBS, your home for Super Bowl 50. Eagles had touchdowns in their first 2 possessions since 1 missed field goal, 3 punts. Who Are You Lovin'? Presented by McDonald's. Game time gold. Bradford and his great tight end today, at least over 100 yards, Brent Selleck.
Yeah, Kevin, he's been terrific in the first half. Miami has not had a lot of answers for him. You got to do a better job tracking and locating him at the line of scrimmage.
He's been effective, but we've had some 10 unanswered points by Miami, 3-point game at halftime. What about adjustments in the second half, Rich?
Well, I think for Miami, you can't forget about your rookie running back, Ajayi. I think he's a talented player, Kevin. 4 carries for 43 yards already in the first half. They got to keep feeding him the football. And I think defensively, you got to keep hitting Sam Bradford. They've gotten him a couple times. They had the 2 sacks. I think for Philadelphia offensively, you can't forget about the run. Remember now, Miami was 31st coming into this game in terms of run defense, giving up 142 yards a game, and finally, they've got to create some turnovers. Philly, going back to last year, the best in football at taking the ball away, 42 takeaways since last year. That's the most in football. Get around Tannehill, I think you can get the ball out.
You may recall the Eagles won the toss. They deferred to begin the game, and Miami receives. So Chip Kelly's going to get it first here to begin the second half. At the quarterback, Bradford, 16 of 21, 96. DeMarco Murray, 12 carries for 48. Brent Selleck, 3 catches for 120. Tannehill, 11 for 20 through the air. And here we go. Our second half is underway. 4-4 Eagles, the 3-5 Dolphins, and a touchback. He'll leave it in the end zone. First and 10 to the 20.
I really thought Bradford played well in the first half. Kevin, 16 of 20. Threw it to 7 different receivers. Really nice throw here in the back of the end zone to Huff early in the game. We talked about Selleck. He's had a great first half, 3 catches for 120 yards. But Miami has gotten some hits on him and knocked him around a little bit. That ball's got to come out a little bit quicker here in the second half.
We have the first and 10 at their own 20-yard line to start the third. DeMarco Murray works on Hewitt. Nice cut back by DeMarco Murray to the 29-yard line and tackled on the play by Michael Thomas on a gain of 9.
Kevin, you mentioned Hewitt. He's right there to make the tackle, and yet he can't get DeMarco Murray on the ground. Too many missed tackles over the last 3 weeks for this Miami defense.
Murray on second down and 1. Good block by Selleck. He's got the first down to the 33 with the tackle made by Hewitt on a gain of 4. And this is the first half resume.
Well, they got off to a good start. Then he missed that field goal there on the third possession. Then things kind of went south. You see the 3 and out. Well, rough possessions there. They'll regroup at halftime.
First and 10. And he's got Ertz to the 40-yard line, brought down by Thomas, 28-yard pickup, and put him right at the 40 of Miami.
Well, he had all 3 verticals, and he had them early if he wanted them. It just took a while for Sam to get this ball out.
Offset eye here with Ertz, the tight end. First and 10 for Bradford. Here comes Vernon. Flag is thrown. Murray outside. And DeMarco is ushered out of bounds by Hewitt. Another flag was thrown.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, offense number 62. Personal foul, grasping the face mask, defense number 36. Penalties offset. First down.
Well, you see Kelsey right in the middle of your screen there. He's just going to grab a hold of Ndamukong Suh and throw him to the ground. And then you see the face mask here at the end on the running back, Murray. Again, our guy, Hewitt.
Philadelphia tight ends today have a combined 186 receiving yards. First and 10 from the 40 of Miami. And he's hit by Suh and throws it away wisely. Suh has been on this field a lot today and performed today.
Well, the Eagles' right tackle, Dennis Kelly's really struggling. And remember, Kevin, because of the injury to Jason Peters, Lane Johnson had to go from the right side to the left side.
Second down 10. Ryan Matthews hit by Olivier Vernon as he wheels down to the 37 and picks up on the play 3.
Well, I'm not surprised to see this Miami defense respond. Olivier Vernon on the tackle. And Kevin, they took a lot of heat for how poorly they played last week. Anytime you have an offense have 2 running backs go over 100 yards on you, that gets your attention.
Third down 7, going deep and looking for Austin. And broken up on the play by rookie Bobby McCain. He's out of the University of Memphis.
Well, it's a pretty good throw by Sam Bradford, and Miles Austin's got to make this catch. The one thing he could have helped himself was by changing lanes. In other words, getting in front of McCain and not allowing him to get his hand up in there to knock it away.
They've sent their punting unit out onto the field. This is a Philadelphia team that won that overtime game Sunday night in Dallas. They've won 3 of 4 after beginning the season 0-2. Had a 16-3 lead earlier in this one. 10 unanswered by Miami in the second quarter. And a nice bounce there for the Eagles. And Maragos will smother it at the 13. 24-yard punt, but well placed by Donnie Jones, who had one blocked earlier this afternoon. Last 4 possessions for the Eagles, all punt, one of which was blocked. Here comes Miami, first second half possession. At their 13-yard line with the first and 10. Tannehill again 11 of 20 through the air. To Miller. Jordan with the block. Fletcher Cox makes the stop after a gain of 4 to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, you look at the first half possessions of the Dolphins, it's kind of been hit or miss. You know, and you look at the way they finished there, those 3 and outs. We always talk about they could be demoralizing to a football team. And you see Brandon Albert taking his time getting back to the huddle.
They're already playing without their right tackle, Jawan James, injured, broken toe a couple weeks ago. And Jason Fox getting another start at that tackle position on the right side. Second down and 6. Ajayi is in. With the catch, Rashard Matthews right in front of defensive back Tyrann Maxwell on a pickup of 9 to the 25.
Really nice job by Tannehill off the play action fake. And this kid's athletic enough to make these plays. I like to see the Dolphins move him more outside the pocket. Really nice throw on the boundary to Matthews.
Using that athleticism, I think, would give more options on offense.
Yeah, you know, he's a talented runner. It's amazing, Ken. We saw a lot more of it out of him the first couple years in Miami.
Ajayi is in first and 10. And he gets the call. Cox, among a couple others, bring him down after a gain of a yard to the 26. The offensive line has been an issue.
Well, I don't know if it's so much the offensive line. Is it the quarterback not recognizing the weak side blitz? Even in this situation, not passing off the linebacker. I mean, we've had 2 weak side pressures that have gotten home. This is how you lose quarterbacks in this league. You cannot give a free hit to a defender.
But up to the quarterback to set his protections, right?
Part of it, Kevin, I'm almost certain he never saw Thurman on that first one, which resulted in the safety in the first quarter.
The second down and 8 right here. Good catch by Landry, but quickly read, and a nice tackle made by Malcolm Jenkins. Limits him to a gain of 4 at the 31. How much, as you take a look at the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL, and Tannehill leads it, how much of the Eagle offense do you see in the Miami offense with the coordinator coming from Philadelphia to Miami?
There's subtleties, there's no question about it. But this is a disturbing trend when you look at Tannehill. He was sacked 139 times his first 3 seasons in the league. That was the most, and that can really affect your confidence, your ability to sit in there and trust the protection.
In the nickel, 3rd and 4. Here they come. There he goes. It's Miller. Grab from behind. Nice pursuit by linebacker Michael Kendricks, limiting him to a gain of 1. And shy of the first down, up to the 31. Punting unit takes the field.
I really like Michael Kendricks. It's a hustle play. We saw him with the sack earlier. He's just going to fly through the middle, and then he chases down Lamar Miller from behind. It's a great effort by the middle linebacker.
Kendricks with another big play, another punting unit coming out onto the field, this time for Miami. Darren Sproles, who's got 8 return touchdowns in his career. High snap by Denny. Punt coming from Daw. Back at the 5, hang time well over 4.5 seconds. Sproles broke 1 tackle at Bowman. Finally brought down by Michael Thomas as he takes it up to the 35 on a 30-yard return. 64-yard punt. With a flag.
During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 16. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
That's a Giratutu, special teamer.
They're just going to get him with the right hand right there at the end. Not even necessary.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Pizza Hut's Triple Treat Box. Make any night a holiday. And by Acura, the leading automotive brand in safety performance.
Philadelphia Art Museum, and there's the Rocky statue right in front.
Hey, Adrian.
First and 10.
Couldn't help myself.
I know. You could. Being a Philly guy, I understand that. DeMarco Murray picks up a yard. Gains 1 on the play.
You mentioned the penalty, Kevin, by Giratutu. I mean, they lose 24 yards due to that penalty, and they're backed up. Special teams penalties have been a problem for both these teams.
Second down, 9. Bradford, and he's looking for Huff, who was held a bit, and there's a flag. So obvious. Zach Bowman, the former Giant, is the one to get caught. And I don't think he needed to hold him.
Pass interference. Defense number 30. Automatic first down.
That's a wallop of a penalty.
Well, it really is. And you're going to see the in route by the tight end and the post over the top, and the safety gets caught out of position. He's too shallow. This is a really nice job by the quarterback, giving him a chance, and the defender just panics in that situation.
38-yard penalty to midfield, first and 10. Cross, Ertz, jumped on by Akins. Getting a little bit of help there from the linebacker, Kelvin Shepard. Jelani Jenkins, by the way, the linebacker from Miami, injured earlier, ankle gone for the rest of the day. There's a gain of 5, and they put him just inside the 46.
Miami having a difficult time, Kevin, even getting lined up.
Second down, 5. And Rashad Jones closes in. May have been a busted play, loss of a yard. That's a sack. Or was he outside the pocket? So maybe that was not.
No, what happened was they didn't cover the slot. Bradford's trying to throw it to the slot in the last second. A defender ran there. So you watch. They didn't cover the slot. Now the defender, they're trying to get lined up. Bradford realizes it, but the receiver doesn't look for the ball even though he was uncovered.
Bryce McCain, another injury for Miami. Cornerback out for the rest of the game. There's a bad snap, 3rd and 7. You see it loose, and falling on it was Dennis Kelly, the right tackle. That brings out some boos. That also brings out the punting unit for Philadelphia.
Well, Jason Kelsey has had his problems, not necessarily snapping the ball, but he hasn't had his best season in the middle of that defense. And that's impossible for Bradford to handle.
Sam, a former basketball player, too. In fact, he and Blake Griffin of the Clippers, boyhood friends growing up in just outside Oklahoma City.
Well, the Eagles just keep shooting themselves in the foot here today, Kevin.
Donnie Jones punt. Jarvis Landry is back. He's cornered. He got by Burton. And then he is brought down by a Giratutu. 5-yard return, 52-yard punt. The snap, the recovery, and yet another punt for the Eagles. On Monday, Eagle players and overseas troops set some time aside and spent the afternoon competing against one another in online games in Pro versus G.I. Joe. And one lucky serviceman got an opportunity to engage with the players. Here's Connor Barwin, who was a All-Pro player a season ago with his 14 sacks. Kid who played some high school football and basketball, carried that on to the University of Cincinnati, where he played for the Bearcats, football and basketball. After the punt, 5th consecutive punting situation with a block in there, too. It's 1st and 10 for Miami, and they're going for Stills, and he had the ball. Incomplete with the coverage by Nolan Carroll. All right, James Brown is standing by with Coach Cowher in New York in our CBS studios.
Kevin, coming up next on CBS, some will see Peyton Manning, who is just 3 yards away from surpassing Brett Favre as the all-time passing yards leader, one of a litany of NFL records that will have his name attached to them, arriving at the stadium in Denver, preparing to host the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be coming up next. Kevin Harlan and St. Joe's Prep Hall of Famer Rich Gannon.
Oh, thank you, JB. Which was put into the Philadelphia Hall of Fame on Thursday here. 2nd down and 10. Quick slant with the tackle made by Jenkins. It goes to Rashard Matthews, who picks up 6 on the play. He's up to the 27.
A real opportunity here, Kevin, for this Miami offense. The Eagles can't seem to get out of their way on the other side of the ball offensively. And I always say, let a team hang around like this on the road and bad things can happen.
Biggers brought in the secondary, so 5 back there. 3rd down and 4 for Miami. Tannehill, incomplete, looking for Cameron Maragos with the coverage. 4th down. Punting unit will take the field. No yellow on the field. 3 and punt.
Tannehill's all over the place with his eyes. He starts out to his left. He's actually late coming back to the middle. I think we always talk about footwork and accuracy go hand in hand. He's late with his eyes as well.
So Miami comes into today 3 and 5, last place in the AFC East, where they have not won a game. They are 0-4. They've lost 2 straight coming in with their interim head coach Dan Campbell. This is the 5th game that he's been in charge. With the punt right here by Darr, and Sproles from his 26. Biggers block and out of bounds. Denny, the long snapper, forced him. 8-yard return, 47-yard punt. We pause here in Philly, 6:19 in the 3rd.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Cialis and by Dish. The Dish 2-year price lock. Go to Dish.com to learn more.
The Reading Terminal Market. My wife and I were over there yesterday. It was bustling on a Saturday, a beautiful day in downtown Philadelphia, and that place was the hub of a lot of activity, a lot of fun. One of the most visited places in downtown Philly. 1st and 10 after the Miami punt. Bradford. Huff. Hit by Shepard, brought down, 42-yard line, gain of 14, first down Philadelphia.
When you look at their production on the first two series of the games, 14 plays, 122 yards, a couple of touchdowns, then they kind of hit the wall.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Had 5 straight possessions where they've ended in punts, one of which was blocked.
Another holding penalty on Philadelphia. 10th most holding penalties, Rich, in the NFL. Couple today.
It's been a difficult time handling that front four.
First and 20. Ryan Matthews getting some blocks up front. One from Kelsey, one from Tobin. Rolls his way to the 35 and picks up 12.
This is nice. You're going to see the center and guard get out in front of this. Nice kick out block. Kelsey gets back and he cuts. Get Ryan Matthews on the edge.
Fake to Matthews on second down and 8. Bradford hit. Ball is loose. The hit came from McCain. And looks like it was reeled in by Dennis Kelly. But that's the third guy, McCain.
Oh, he's hurt too.
Oh, he is. Who has gotten at Bradford. And McCain, a second-year player out of Cal without a lot of numbers, goes in on Sam. Fourth sack by Miami.
Well, we talked about the struggles that the right tackle Kelly has had, and McCain just gets a clear shot on Bradford.
Maybe underneath that arm, Rich.
Oh, man. I don't know if it's the right arm that he's grabbing or the left arm.
There's a Miami player down.
And he's holding that left arm, Kevin. With that left shoulder. You got Sanchez out there warming up already.
Mark Sanchez has not got any type of statistics this year. Has not been in for a snap.
Remember, that was the knock on Bradford. One of the reasons why the Rams decided to trade him. He missed the better part of the last 2 seasons. He had the AC joint sprain back in 2009. Of course, you feel terrible for him. He tore the first ACL back in 2013, and then last year, another ACL tear. And guys just miss so much football. In fact, we talked to him on Friday about the knee braces, and he said, I no longer wear the knee braces because both times I hurt the knee, I had the braces on. And here comes Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez, 7 years out of USC, number 5 pick for the Jets. There goes Fade. He walks off the field, injured, but walking. Mark Sanchez, remember when he was with the Jets, took him to 2 consecutive AFC Championship games. Last year played for the Eagles and 64% thrower, 3rd and 15 here. He dumps it off. Ryan Matthews on the move and gets the first down with a catch and run to the 45 and a 17-yard pickup.
Well, that's awful. I mean, you got a 3rd and 15 and you give up a 16-yard play on a screen. That's bad defense by the Dolphins.
What's the offense do now, Rich, in terms of scheme?
They don't slow down. This is what they pay Mark Sanchez for, Kevin.
Ooh, Sue grabs Matthews, allows no gain, and that is not a good sign if you're an Eagles fan. A flag has been thrown in that previous play. They'll get a further look at Sam Bradford in the locker room.
And the first thing you think about when a quarterback is heading to the locker room with that left arm hanging like that is a shoulder separation.
Illegal block in the back, offense, 10-yard penalties, first down.
Costly penalties already for the Eagles today.
They got 6 and 6-2 on Miami.
The good news in terms of Mark Sanchez, Kevin, he played a lot of football last year. You and I saw him a couple times last year, and very comfortable and very familiar with Chip Kelly's offense.
Murray is in, 1st and 20. The scrambling Sanchez, and hits the deck before Shepard hits him. At the 38, gain of 3.
Well, he gives you a little bit more mobility at the quarterback position. The biggest knock on Mark Sanchez is the decision-making, Kevin. That's really what ultimately got him run out of New York, is that he didn't take care of the football. Lack of a ball security in the pocket and some poor decisions, some late throws down the field that didn't turn out well for him.
Murray 2nd and 17. He gets by Olivier Vernon. Brought down at about the 42-yard line. Hewitt was there. Gain of 3 on the play.
Well, I'm surprised that Philly hasn't run the ball better. Kevin even tried to run the football a little bit more, just 74 rushing yards so far. And remember now, you're going up against a Miami defense that got gutted last week for 266 on the road at Buffalo.
Sproles is in, 3rd and 13. Into the nickel. Sproles. And he was forced out of bounds by Mike Hull, who was just signed off the practice squad yesterday. Catcher on a 7 for Sproles. Hull was the Big Ten leading tackler a season ago at Penn State. And the Big Ten linebacker of the year. They call it the Butkus Fitzgerald Award in the Big Ten. It's 4th down. They will punt. 4th and 5. Jones. Landry. Here comes Ajira Tutu, and he hits the deck himself at the 13-yard line. 3-yard return, 50-yard punt. Here comes the Dolphin offense. Well, on Thursday, my partner Rich Cannon went back to his old high school, St. Joe's Prep, as part of the NFL High School Honor Roll program. He presented the school with a commemorative golden football celebrating the 50 years of the Super Bowl. There's Rich. He brought his beautiful wife, Shelley, to town, and
it was great to go back, Kevin. The Prep opened their doors in 1851. It's amazing. Really thankful I got a chance to go back and spend some time with so many people that made such a difference in my life.
Nice, Rich. Congratulations. 1st and 10. Here comes Lamar Miller. Run out of bounds. He got a block from Landry. Out of bounds at about the 23. Picks up 10. He has got the 1st down.
Well, we look at the second half possessions for the Dolphins. They had 8 plays, just 24 yards of offense. They've had some missed opportunities, a drop by Devontae Parker. I think they're getting so much man-to-man coverage, Kevin. There's some opportunities to throw the ball down the field a little bit against these Philly corners.
1st and 10. Lamar Miller. Stymied by Kiko Alonso. And he's up to the 27. Alonso is the Buffalo linebacker. And a gain of 3 right there by Miller, who was traded for LaShawn McCoy.
And I know they want and expect more out of this running game. They just haven't been good enough or consistent enough running the ball. They're just 19th in rushing. And when that man took over, Dan Campbell, that's one of the first things he's talked about, being a more physical team at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 7. Ryan Matthews is being looked at. He's got a head injury. They're looking at the left shoulder of Bradford for Philadelphia. 2nd down and 7. Flag and a completion to Richard Matthews, who is brought down by Nolan Carroll after a 16-yard gain as it stands now up to the 42-yard line.
Prior to the pass, holding defense number 23. The penalties decline. 1st down.
Rich, it's a 3-point game, and both teams have gone back and forth. It's gotten sloppy and jagged here, but Miami, here they are moving
hanging
again.
in.
I know it.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill's hanging in there, Kevin. He's making the plays when he has to.
16-27, 140 through the air, a touchdown pass for Ryan Tannehill. With a 1st and 10.
Red 40! Red 40!
Miller. Cox brings him down, 45 and a gain of 3. Well, fans never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every score, every game, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now at cbssports.com/mobile. 2nd down and 7. Bradford's thrown a touchdown pass. Matthews had a touchdown run for the Eagles. Tannehill has thrown a touchdown pass to Lamar Miller with a couple of field goals. 2nd down, 7. Double reverse. Richard Matthews, the quarterback, wants to throw a block. Miller throws a block, and I'll tell you who wasn't fool was Walter Thurman. Thurman came through, made the play. He came here to be a cornerback, but they've moved him to safety, and it's been successful. He limits him to a gain of 4 to the 49.
Yeah, and you talk about a guy that gives him some versatility, Kevin, as you mentioned, is a nickel as a corner. And they realized early on that because he's so aware, He just sees the field so well. He's a natural at the safety position.
3rd and 3. Tannehill, Matthews, first down. He got by Maxwell. He gets a block downfield from his tight end, Jordan, and he's brought down by Jenkins from behind. It's a catch and run to the 8, 43-yard pickup, 1st and goal, Miami.
And when you play so much press man-to-man coverage, you get these natural rubs, and you get some separation between receiver and defensive back.
On the left, you've got Dan Campbell, interim head coach. He's gone 2-2 since taking over for Joe Philbin. On the right, you got a coach who feels he's got pretty good momentum. They've won 3 of 4. The Eagles with Chip Kelly began 0-2 and 1 of 3. Now they go to the 4th in a 3-point game, and look who's got it 1st and goal. From the 8, Tannehill and the Dolphins beginning the 4th quarter.
Wow.
Ajayi was the running back, and Cox was moving.
Encroachment, defense number 91. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
I have no idea what he's looking at. He's right over the center. Mike Pouncey. Pouncey doesn't move. He just doesn't flinch. Didn't sound like it was a hard count.
He was sensing.
He was sensing.
I don't know.
He's chomping at the bit.
Yeah, he's a good one. When he chomps, people listen.
He's got such good quickness off the ball, and he's got the ability to strike with his hands and really control the opponent at the line of scrimmage.
Sims in motion, 1st and goal at the 4. Tannehill, it's deflected and up for grabs. And caught! Landry, touchdown! On the ricochet! Dolphins have taken a lead.
Just keep an eye on Connor Barwin. They don't even really block him, and once again he's going to bat this ball. It goes straight up into the air. Actually, going to go off the screen, and everyone's looking for it. And Jenkins never feels it. Look at the reaction by Landry. It's like he's fielding a punt,
which he does.
A little bit of unexpected good fortune there from the Dolphins.
Rashard Matthews was terrific on that drive. 2 catches and 58 yards. Tannehill with his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Tack on one more right there. It's a 20-16 Miami lead. Extra point by Franks. 17 unanswered Miami Dolphin points. And a bit of good fortune right here. Jarvis Landry. Tannehill with a couple of touchdown passes. 17 unanswered points scored by Miami as the Eagles led by 13. Their starting quarterback is out now for Philadelphia. Bradford having his left shoulder looked at in the locker room. Ryan Matthews is out with a head injury. Miami is going to kick off after a 4-yard deflected touchdown reception by Jarvis Landry. It's out of the end zone and out of the reach of Huff to the 20. Well, coming up next, Tom Brady and the unbeaten Patriots take on Eli Manning and the Giants, or the Chiefs take on the Broncos. Check local listings right here on CBS Sports. Philadelphia came into today, Rich. Winners of 3 of 4, 4-4 record, and a half game in back of the first place Giants and Manning.
Yeah, the one thing Tom Coughlin knows how to do is beat the Patriots. Of course, they've handed them 2 defeats in the Super Bowl. That'll be a good matchup. 2 quarterbacks that are really playing well right now.
Sanchez got by Shelby, 1st and 10. Finds Selleck, drilled on the play and hit by Akins. With a gain of 13, the tight ends continue to make their presence felt, impactful in this game, out to the 34.
Well, it's amazing how quickly things can change in this business. Mark Sanchez hadn't played all year, and now he's in a real fight.
He got tangled up right there with DeMarco Murray, and then Tony Lippett, the rookie out of Michigan State, came through and busted it up. No gain.
This is what happens. Sometimes you have a quarterback in there, hasn't taken a lot of reps with the starters, and now DeMarco Murray's not sure whether the quarterback's going to keep it or hand it off.
With a 2nd down and 10. Murray hit by Shelby and then grabbed by Neville Hewitt. Flag is thrown. Loss of a yard as it stands back to the 33.
It's going to be on Miami.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, in case you just joined us, not too long ago, Sam Bradford going back. Hit by Chris McCain. One of 3 guys named McCain on the Dolphin defense today. He's the linebacker. 1st and 10, Sanchez. Incomplete. Rookie Nelson Aguilar.
There's another example, Kevin. 2 players not being on the same page. Sanchez trying to throw a back shoulder throw to Aguilar. He's running the fade route.
So realistically, he's had no first-team snaps in practice.
Well, we were out of practice on Friday. We didn't see any of Mark Sanchez. He was running Miami's offense. But he's a veteran guy. He knows this playbook, and you got to be prepared for these type of situations.
Selleck gives him a block on 2nd down and 10. He scrambled. Oh, nice catch made by Ertz. Right in front of Rashad Jones. Picks up 15. To the 46-yard line of Miami, that's a Philadelphia first down. That'll bring a smile to your face.
Really nice movement in the pocket by Mark Sanchez. We've seen it a couple times now under duress, keeping the ball in the throwing position and his eyes downfield.
First down and 10 from the 46. Nowhere to go there. Here's Sue once again with a loss of 3 and DeMarco Murray back to the 49.
Just watch the footwork between the quarterback and the running back. Sanchez almost trips DeMarco Murray. And this is the things you take for granted, Kevin. Footwork in the running game with a quarterback that simply hasn't taken the reps.
Latest word, x-rays negative on Sam Bradford's shoulder, left shoulder. And a concussion for Ryan Matthews gone, 2nd and 13. Screen pass, Murray, oh, what a nice move. He makes a couple block and miss on the tackles, and then Olivier Vernon brings him down at the 39. He took advantage of the tackles ahead, picks up 10 on that little play.
It was a tough tackle in the open field, and forget the fact that he's a lot faster than you think.
Eagle tight ends today, 10 catches, 192 combined. Selleck and Ertz. Sproles, 3rd and 3. And tries to get to the 36. Brought down by Walt Aikens, and let's see where they spot that ball.
I love how
they'll go for it anyway, won't they, Rich?
I think so. I love how Philly makes their substitutions. They don't even look at it, jump the ball. They won't allow Miami to make an adjustment. Really stresses your communication system defensively.
4th and 1. Sproles from Sanchez and tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Jamar Taylor. And then he squirms for the first and gets to the 35. Pickup of 2. He's stronger than he looks.
I think the challenge for Miami just getting lined up, Kevin. There's got to be a sense of urgency simply to get lined up.
Sanchez 1st and 10. Sproles with the corkscrew catch, and Taylor shoves him out of bounds at the 26 and a gain of 9.
This is where Darren Sproles is so good out of the backfield in the passing game. Got great hands and very good route runner as well.
2nd down and 1. Fake to Murray. Time for Sanchez to the end zone. Oh, it's caught by Austin. Out of bounds. Caught it on the chalk. Miles Austin. Incomplete. 3rd and 1 coming up.
Kevin, you can just feel the tempo and the pace pick up offensively for the Eagles. Was a really nice throw there by Sanchez. I think Miles Austin just runs out of room there right at the end. He needs to drag that left foot.
On this drive, a 13-yard pass to Selleck, a 15-yarder to Ertz, and a 9-yard pass to Sproles. 3rd and 1. Here's a familiar look on 3rd down. They go to Murray, who gets the first down. Down to the 22, picks up 4. He's rushed for a first down 4 times on 3rd down situations today.
You see Miami trying to make the substitutions. They can't get off the field.
Sanchez. He's got him. Flags. Caught. Ertz. Touchdown. As it stands right now, a 22-yard connection with Zach Ertz. Flags on the field. 3 of them. And the conference with their officials.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Illegal shift, offense, number 14 never got set. Defense, 12 men on the field. Penalties offset, first down.
Dodging a bullet right there, Miami.
Well, Miami's got 12 on the field. You just look at it. I mean, they can't get off the field. And then we got the problem right here in the slot. He can't get lined up. Riley Cooper. Got to be set for a full second.
12th play of the drive. 1st and 10. And outside with a pass to Aguilar. And the tackle made by Bobby McCain on a gain of 4 to the 18.
A really nice job by Bobby McCain taking the place of Brent Grimes. He just found out this morning that he was going to be playing. We saw Brent Grimes last night, wasn't feeling well, came to the stadium. It was a late scratch because of an illness. Now Bobby McCain playing a lot of snaps against this Philly offense.
Timeout Miami. They're having all kinds of problems. You know why, Rich? One of the reasons why is because a lot of their starters are out there playing with second and third team players who are not used to this situation. And all this shuffling back and forth, and Campbell just called the timeout.
And we talked about how the pace and the tempo really put some stress on your defense. I thought Bill Davis, the defensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, had a great perspective. He said what happens is that, the defense begins to turn on itself. One communication breakdown, and then you have another. Then it really makes makes players start to challenge one another. And the other thing that Chip Kelly does a good job of is he really makes you defend the entire field, not just horizontally but vertically. They do a great job spreading you out and making you play sideline to sideline as well.
Dolphins have scored 17 unanswered. 2nd down 6. Murray. Grabbed by Kelvin Shepard, the linebacker, thrown for a yard loss back to the 19. The starting quarterback for Philly is out, Bradford. One of their important running backs, Ryan Matthews, out with a concussion. 3rd down and 7. Sanchez, who hasn't played this year, is in right now. 3rd and 7. And going for Matthews and drilled on the play by Jamar Taylor. And Jordan Matthews, you can see, felt the effect. He's been starting. Jamar Taylor has the last 3 games. Off the bench today in multiple situations in their secondary, and comes up with a hit that jarred the ball free. Incomplete pass.
This is unfortunate. Mark Sanchez never sees out in front of the throw. Watch the corner.
Clean hit too.
Taylor
Rich.
come in. Yeah, Jordan Matthews never feels as a quarterback. It's important that you look out in front. You got to see that flat defender. That's how guys get hurt.
They're still attending to Matthews. We will step aside with 10:23 to play in the 4th from Philadelphia and Miami by 4.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jared, the guy of jewelry. The gift you'll treasure forever. Amazon Fire TV. Change the way you TV. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Philadelphia led by 13. Now they trail by 4. Taylor just knocked the wind out of Matthews, and Matthews got up under his own power. He'll be ready to go back in. Sturgis trying a field goal from 37 yards away to come to within 1, and he gets it. He had missed one earlier from 32. It's a 1-point Miami lead, 10-20 in the 4th from Philly on CBS. In replacing the injured Sam Bradford, Mark Sanchez went 6 of 9 on that last drive, 60 yards. Completions of 13 and 15 to his 2 tight ends, Selleck and Ertz respectively. And they get a 37-yard field goal to come to within 1 after they led by 13. And the ensuing kickoff is away. And Jarvis Landry out of LSU lets it go, and back of him out of the end zone. Touchback to the 20-yard line for Miami. Your weekend starts Thursday night as Marcus Mariota and the Titans take on Blake Bortles and the Jaguars in an AFC South battle. Thursday night football only on NFL Network.
Boy, Marcus Mariota looked sharp last week. Kevin, you and I were down there in New Orleans. He threw for 4 touchdowns, and Mike Mularkey taking over as head coach for Ken Wisenhunt.
Tannehill with a couple touchdown passes today, 1st and 10. Lamar Miller, nice pursuit Great hedge. Malcolm Jenkins throws him for a loss of a yard back to the 19.
Well, this play had no chance. I mean, you get an internal pressure, then you get a blitz off the edge. They run right into the blitz. You're going to see it coming off the edge. They've got no one to block Malcolm Jenkins. Look at this. Where's the back supposed to go with him?
That's happened a lot today, Rich.
And, you say to yourself, why do you run those plays in that situation? That's on Tannehill to be able to change the play at the line of scrimmage.
He says he doesn't have audible that. He doesn't change the play. Second down and 11. Fake to Miller. Good block by Sims, the tight end. They go out to Miller, and it's incomplete. It was being shadowed by lineman Benny Logan. Third and 11. Cox was right there, chasing Tannehill. It's a pretty important play here. Third and 11 coming up for the Dolphins, who lead by 1.
Yeah, these third and longs have been a killer so far for the Dolphins. 6th time today they've been in 3rd and 10 or longer.
Nickel secondary. Blocked by Albert. 3rd and 11, short, wide, uncatchable. Looking for Jarvis Jenkins. Coverage by Maxwell, among others. 4th down. Dolphins will punt.
Really nice coverage. They're playing double man, so Biggers knows that he has help over the top, so he's going to be in the trail technique. It would have taken a perfect throw there by Tannehill to get it done.
Sproles is back. Dar to punt. Sproles from the 30. They have a good beat on him, and a nice tackle was made by a defensive back and a special teamer there, Walt Aikens. Here's what's happened today in Philadelphia.
Well, Josh Huff put the Eagles on the board first after a scramble by the quarterback. And again, for the 3rd straight week, a sack and a safety. And Bradford left the game in the 3rd quarter. This tip touchdown pass gave Miami the lead. It's been a back and forth seesaw battle here in Philadelphia. Boy, losing Bradford though, Kevin, that's a killer. He was playing well. 20 of 26, 253 yards and a touchdown.
Sanchez to DeMarco Murray with a 1st and 10 with the handoff. Neville Hewitt makes the stop, gain of 4 up to the 34. The lead was 16-3, 13-point advantage for the Eagles. 17 unanswered scored by Miami. We just saw an Eagle 37-yard field goal to bring it to within 1. 2nd and 6. Sanchez right on the screws, caught by Huff. Upended on the play near midfield and brought down. Michael Thomas the hit, 16-yard catch and run, put him right at the 50 for a 1st down. Huff caught the touchdown pass, as Rich just told you, with the 1st and 10 handoff. DeMarco Murray picks up 2 to the 48.
This is where Philly normally wears down a team defensively, and the conditioning is incredible. You just watch these guys work and practice on Friday. It's amazing how they substitute, their substitution patterns, and then the players, they run to their positions, get lined up quickly. It really puts a lot of stress on a defense.
2nd and 8. Murray wasn't looking. Coverage by linebacker, rookie free agent Neville Hewitt.
This is about the 3rd time now we've seen a situation where quarterback and running back or receiver not on the same page. DeMarco Murray not even looking for the ball in that situation.
Starting cornerback is out today during this game. Bryce McCain for Miami. So they've had to go deep into the well. 5 in their secondary now. 3rd down and 8. Olivier Vernon was coming from the edge, and that ball overshoots the smallish running back Sproles. Coverage by Taylor. 4th down, and no punt.
This is where the Eagles have their own issues, Kevin, in terms of picking up the blitz. They're not a big audible team either. They play so fast that they don't really have a lot of time for it. You can see Chip Kelly over there talking to Sanchez about the issues.
Jones had a punt block earlier in the game. Here he sends one deep. They're punting now 7 times in 8 possessions. They got a field goal. That one gets away and will be downed. Biggers grabs it. Najee Good was down there holding on to it. Landry let it fly. Timeout.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway, the legendary sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Subway, eat fresh. And by USAA. Join us at salutetoservice.com.
That's Al Capone's cell at the Eastern State Penitentiary, built back in 1829. I think Miami feels like they're in jail right now at the 2. Maroon there, 1st and 10 after the punt. Whoa. The guard moved again. Second time that's happened to him.
False start. Offense number 77.
Billy Turner.
After the goal. First down.
Well, we talked about the missed assignments, the mental errors, the penalties. This happened earlier in the game, as you mentioned, Kevin.
Exactly like that. Remember they went half the distance after he was offside.
Yeah, we always talk about as an offense, this is where you want to use the hard count because the penalty isn't so severe, but boy, you got to be smarter than that.
After that false start, 1st and 11. Tannehill, Miller, he bounced and Biggers. Dropped his arms, brought him down near the 2, gain of 1.
It's so hard to run against this Philly front, this 3-4 defense. This defensive line, they play with their pads square. They don't get pushed sideways. They don't allow a lot of vertical seams in the defense, and they spill a lot of runs outside to make the running backs go east and west.
D'Amico Ryans was in on that stop. Kendricks got him too. 2nd down 10. Miller again. Connor Barwin, he'll make the stop here. He gets out to the 6, grinds his way to the 7, and picks up 5. Lamar Miller.
A little bit of breathing room here now for 3rd down. This is a big 3rd down situation. Nice block by Pouncey. He's going to get Kendricks on the ground.
Third and 5. Tannehill broken up. What a defensive play by Nolan Carroll. And there was pressure. So 3 plays, punting it takes the field for the Dolphins.
I think this game isn't important to Nolan Carroll, former Dolphin. He felt like the team gave up on him, a chance to come to Philadelphia and be a starter. They are so much better, Kevin, in the secondary. 3 new starters in that second to go along with Malcolm Jenkins. That's really where they've made the biggest improvement from a year ago.
So the pass to Kenny Stills won't go. Carroll breaks it up. 4th down. The rookie free agent Dawn. Sproles awaits. 44. Denny brings him down. Long snapper racing down there and making the stop. 5-yard return. 48-yard punt. 169 consecutive games played for him. Tonight, Scott Pelley reports from Paris on the terrorist attacks. Plus, how the NFL is changing the game to better protect the players. On 60 Minutes tonight. Mark Sanchez is looking for a little protection right here, Rich. They're down by a point and 6.5 to go.
Well, they've had some struggles picking up the blitz. We saw that last week against the Cowboys as well, which led to some negative plays. We talked about them not being a big audible team. Most of their answers for the blitz are kind of built-in quick throws to the flats.
Bradford out with a shoulder injury. Matthews, the running back, is out with a head injury, concussion. 1st and 10, nothing there. DeMarco Murray doesn't pick up a yard. They stay at midfield.
Watch the quarterback's footwork with the running back. He's going to trip the back. Watch the left foot. I mean, we've seen this 4 or 5 times already now between Mark Sanchez and DeMarco Murray. And it's the things you take for granted.
2nd and 10. Murray, screen, Barber a block. Rashad Jones holding on for dear life and brings him down in the secondary after a catch and run to the 38 and a pickup of 12 and a 1st down.
Well, we talked to Lou Anarumo, last night, defensive coordinator of the Dolphins, he said, we cannot afford to try and tackle DeMarco Murray up high. He's one of the best stiff-arm guys we see.
1st and 10. Ertz. Taylor got him. Hewitt got him. Runs out of bounds near the 28, close to a first down. The tight ends have been huge today for the Jets.
Well, you mentioned both tight ends. Kevin Selleck with 4 catches for 134. Ertz 7 for 68.
1st and 10. Sanchez got away from Shelby. Looking for Murray. Got him! Koamisi chases him out of bounds. The scrambling of Sanchez keeps it alive. 20-yard catch and run. Put him out of bounds at the 8. 1st and goal, Philly.
A really nice job by Mark Sanchez. He's going to make the fake. Looking to his left. Down the middle of the field. It's not there. Keeps it going with his legs. And really makes a nice adjustment on the move. A nice catchable ball down the sidelines to DeMarco Murray.
1st and goal at the 8. Sanchez, Murray, Calvin Shepard with the tackle. And a loss of a yard back to the 9. Timeouts, Miami 2, Philadelphia 3. Under 5 to play in the 4th. Eagles have won 3 of 4 after their 0-2 start. Half game out of first place in the East. 2nd and goal at the 9. Fake to Murray. Sanchez intercepted. It's picked off by Jones. Rashad Jones is picked off Sanchez. In the red zone. Goal to go. And that is the knock on Mark Sanchez. Turnovers.
Well, it's poor decisions, Kevin. The turnovers in this part of the field are a killer. And off a play action, they're going to move Sanchez to his left. And he's looking for the crossing route. You're going to see Miles Austin right there, and the safety does a really nice job cutting him off at the pass. Rashad Jones, terrific play in the back of the end zone.
4th red zone interception thrown by the Eagle quarterbacks this year. 3 by Bradford, and a costly one in the end zone thrown by Sanchez. Plenty of time, though. 4:26. Game's first turnover. And again, Miami marooned at their 4. And they have struggled down here today. 1st and 10. Fake to Miller. Deion Sims' first catch. Kiko Alonso chops him down. 12-yard line, pickup of 8.
I'm not surprised to see the Dolphins take a shot on first down. Good adjustment there by Sims, the tight end. Coming alive at the end of that play. Good protection up front as well. An alert play there by Tannehill.
Dallas Thomas, one of the guards, holding on tight. 2nd and 2. Ajayi is in, running back. Rookie. Outside, Landry. And he works his way into Carroll and Jenkins and picks up 4. They'll put him at the 16. That is a first down for Miami. On 2nd and 2, we got it. How about Philadelphia use of their timeouts now, Rich? They got 3.
Yeah, they've got the 2-minute warning. Of course, they're just down by a point, but at some point here, they got to start thinking about using some of those timeouts. Should probably talking about that right now with one of his assistants upstairs.
1st and 10. Ajayi is in. And the call. A block from Sims and grinds his way near the 20. Picks up 4.
It's a good place, good time to use one.
They do. 2 left. Dolphins have 2 and lead by 1. So a 4-4 record brought in by Philadelphia. They won in Dallas in overtime last Sunday. They've won 3 of 4 in the division. 2-2. Giants are getting ready to take on the New England Patriots, and they rest a half game in back of the Giants coming into today.
This is really where the good teams begin to come on and begin to create some separation. The Eagles trail the Giants by a half a game. The Redskins won today. You just get the sense that this division once again is going to come down to week 17.
Whole league looks like it's going to come down to week 17, huh? So much parity. Second down, 7 at the 19. Fake to Miller, chased by Cox. Tannehill throws it away.
It stops the clock as well. Well, you'd like to think that there was a built-in completion there somewhere. Bill Lazor, this is an important call, Kevin. You see him looking at that call sheet on 3rd and 7, an area where they have struggled all season.
They need the 26.
31st and 3rd down conversions coming into today's game, completing just under 29% of their opportunities in this situation. Somebody's got to win against man-to-man coverage.
3rd and 7. They got Landry. They got the first down. He's hit by Biggers. He slides up to the 36 and picks up 18 on 3rd and 7.
And they went right after Biggers, the nickel, with their best receiver, Landry. And a really nice throw there by Ryan Tannehill.
Tannehill today, 21 of 36 for 217 and 2 touchdowns. The big receiver has been Landry, 7 catches and 52 yards. Last week in Buffalo, 11 catches for 60. 1st and 10.
Now you start running it and make the Eagles use those timeouts.
Lamar Miller. They'll try to gash him over the left side. Gets as far as the 39. Gang tackle there. Alonzo and others making the stop. Fletcher Cox, gain of 2. Timeout because we're at the 2-minute warning. 2 timeouts apiece. 1 point Dolphin lead. Rashad Jones leads all defensive backs in the NFL in tackles, but he just came up with an end zone interception, his 3rd pick of the year, off backup quarterback Mark Sanchez, taking the place of the injured Sam Bradford. This is Miami's subsequent possession. 2nd down and 8. 2 timeouts, leading by a point. Lamar Miller, he was hit. Initial one, Cedric Thornton, no gain on the play. And they stop him at the 39. Timeout. Timeout by Philadelphia. All right, we showed you the East in the NFC where Kelly and the Eagles reside. Dan Campbell, the interim head coach, is in last place in the East in the AFC. Winless in the division, 3-5, having lost 2 consecutive games after winning his first 2 as he took the place of the departed coach Joe Philbin after a month.
It's really been a surprise, really, in a season in which they had such high expectations. The 0-4 record against the AFC East.
Miami took over at their own 4 with 4:26 left. 8th play of the drive coming up, 3rd and 8. They need the 47. Albert the block at the left tackle. Here comes Cox. Tannehill got away, cradles the ball. Down he goes. Sacked back at the 30. It's the 4th sack authored by that defense of Philadelphia. It's a loss of 9. And the punting unit takes the field. A timeout has been taken by Philadelphia. They are out of timeouts.
We'll go ahead and run it. This is just a nice job by the Eagles defense, just passing things off. Go ahead and freeze it right there. Where are you going to throw the football? This is what you call a coverage sack. Everybody's accounted for. And then Sanchez or Tannehill trying to find an open receiver, but nowhere to throw the football in that situation. Really nice job by all 11 on defense.
So now Matt Darr will punt for Miami. And deep back is Darren Sproles.
And with a minute 51 and no timeouts on the clock, that's like all day for this Philly offense.
Sproles has a punt return touchdown this year. He's got 3 in his 2 years with the Eagles. Terrific hang time. 19-yard line. Darren Sproles. Great coverage. And Denny brings him down. The long snapper again was right there, as was Mike Hull. 10-yard return, 51-yard punt.
Well, Sanchez got off to a good start. Was 10 of 16, threw the ball well. Good anticipation, looked comfortable in the offense, but made a really costly decision on 1st down and goal in the red zone.
That was Rashad Jones that made that pick in the end zone. Bradford is out, as we've talked And Sanchez is out there with no timeouts and 1:40 to play. The Eagles, who have won 3 of 4, a half game out of first, have it 1st and 10 at their 29. They need about 35 yards for a field goal on 1st and 10. Sanchez with pressure and a Sproles. Out of bounds. Shy of the first. He picks up 5. He's up to the 34.
And the one thing Mark Sanchez cannot do in this situation is take a sack. Throwing the ball away on 1st down, 2nd down, not a problem. It's another way to stop the clock, but you cannot take a sack.
He's 11 of 17 since taking the place of the injured Bradford. 2nd and 5. Underneath, Sproles. Hit by Koamisi, grabbed by Jones, gets the 1st down, up to the 44, picks up 9.
And watch how fast they jump the ball. Everybody gets the sense of urgency they get to their position.
Except Miles Austin, 1st and 10.
It was in his first year in this offense.
Right. Sanchez, he was looking for Austin. How about that? What an interesting set of circumstances there, 2nd and 10.
Kevin, you got to think, just in that situation, you're crossing the field, just look for the football. You're wide open. Just take a peek.
It was there. Maybe a little bit in back of him. 5 in the secondary, 2nd down and 10. It's to Murray with and he drops it. Barber was ahead to block on the screen. Over there defending was Neville Hewitt, a rookie free agent from Marshall, which we've seen a lot of those type of kids out there off the practice squad up today for the injured Dolphins. Now 3rd and 10 for Philadelphia.
Just curious to see what Miami does defensively here, Kevin. Philly has not handled the blitz well. You can go after him right here if you want to.
No timeouts for the Eagles, 3rd and 10.
Just a 4-man rush.
Sanchez through the hands of Ertz. Coverage on the play by linebacker Kelvin Shepard. 4th and 10.
Do or die for Mark Sanchez. This thing's just a little bit high. It's not an easy catch for the tight end. You got to put it on him. Well, you can just tell they're just a little bit off right now. They're out of sync, out of rhythm offensively. Now Miami's going to take a timeout on 4th down.
They want to get their shorts on straight, and they Eagles have to get to the 46-yard line of Miami for the 1st. Again, no timeouts. With a look at Sanchez, who elected to re-sign, knowing he'd probably be the backup here in Philadelphia.
I think he had a good experience here last year. Kevin, I think he likes this offense. I think it's an offense that he feels comfortable in, that he can excel in. But as you point out, the one knock on Sanchez has been late in games, decision-making late in games. What an unbelievable opportunity he has here on 4th and 10.
What do you think he's got up his sleeve?
The tight ends have been so good today for the Eagles.
4th and 10, no timeouts. Across the middle, grab, but short. It's grabbed by, and then there was a fumble on the play after Jordan Matthews had lassoed the pass, but nonetheless shy of the 1st down. With a hit by Akins and a gain of 6 on 4th and 10. And on downs, it goes back to Miami, and Philly can't stop the clock.
Well, Sanchez didn't have enough time, Kevin. He wanted to hold the ball a little bit more. Olivier Vernon, he makes a really nice play. You're going to see him right inside here. He's the one that's going to get to Sanchez initially, and he just cannot hold it. He's got to get this one up and down before he's ready.
Shepard and Jones were right there. On the wide receiver Matthews, who caught the game winner in overtime in Dallas on Sunday. And they come up short of the 1st down. And they're going to come up a point short today against the visiting Dolphins. And Dan Campbell, the interim head coach, in his 5th game taking the place of the fired Joe Philbin, is going to go to 3-2. And the Eagles are going to lose for the 3rd time this season, Rich, in a game where they held a 4th quarter lead. They also had the leads against Atlanta and against the Redskins and lost both of those.
Well, you got to give Dan Campbell a lot of credit for getting his team ready. After the coaching change, they had the 2 impressive wins over Tennessee and Houston, but unfortunately they followed it up with the 2 blowouts at the hands of New England and Buffalo. But today, this team got it done on the road.
Eagles led by 13. Miami came back to score 17 unanswered points. With one of the biggest plays of the day, the end zone interception thrown by Sanchez and picked up by Rashad Jones. 2-game losing streak ends for 4-5 Miami. The Eagles go to 4-5. Coming up next, game 2, and it's a beauty. Giants, Patriots. For Rich Gannon, Kevin Harlan, so long from Philadelphia. You've been watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 50.